Hello, streamers on YouTube, and welcome to Music and Words. I am not Matt Fleming. You are not deceived. This is another beautiful human being. Me, I'm not as gorgeous as Matt, but I've only got what I've got. I'm Pete Cox, and I'm here to entertain you tonight on this super session that we have for you of Music and Words, where he's let me do a form of Innerverse takeover, and we have wonderful acts for you tonight. We have tonight, and this is sponsored by Fiery Things, and it's all being filmed live for you from the studio. And you might hear things tonight that excite you, entice you, upset you, or maybe divide a part of you. But whatever you hear, just love and respect it, because it takes courage to perform. And we have a wonderful list of performers. And Matt is here with me in the studio, aren't you, Matt? Say hello, Matt.
I am indeed. So I'm behind the scenes, all the tech stuff. And Mr. Cox is sat literally right opposite me there. But it looks like we're in different rooms because we're on different sort of screen things and stuff. But
we are right here. We are so close. We can literally feel each other if we wanted to, Matt, right?
And maybe I think we're 2 meters plus. So
we're having a 2 meters touchy-feely session going on right now.
I can feel his brain vibes. They're giving me some sort of special feelings. So I'm enjoying that. So but yeah, so thanks to Pete for joining us really tonight. So it's nice to actually have some other people. A few weeks back we had Jen and Eleanor doing the hosting, and Pete's obviously a big part of the Music and Words Club and has been from the very start. And it's nice for him to actually host an online show. So,
I felt absolutely honoured when you asked me, and absolutely because I saw how beautiful Jen and Eleanor made it, and I was like, I got to make a bit of effort, so I put on a summery vibe. I've gone full summer vibes here, and so. What shall I tell them the running order? We'll have a running order.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I'll just tell you who's performing. I won't give you the running order because it's giving away too much. But tonight we have for you the word man himself, and you could chuck words at this man and he eats them and spits them back at you with such beauty. His name is Diamond Bavell. We have the wonderful One Formation, which is Matt, who you've just seen on the screen and organised all of this. We have GABRIELLE, WESTHEAD, an amazing poet that regularly comes to Innerverse and just is an amazing human being anyway. We have MILAN, who's going to give you some musical insight. And he was here earlier recording that, and excited to hear the results of that. And we have, me, I'm here. I'm going to be doing some stuff. And we have Rick Warren, also known as LYRICK, another poet that I've brought in for this tonight, who is, you just wait. You're going to feel that shit and you're going to love it. And we have MCCABE, an awesome singer, and writes all her own songs as well. And she's here, ready to go and to delight you with her sounds. And we have Mr. James LINTON, another poet, that's going to give you a wonderful insight. Honestly, that man makes me think. And I'm excited for you all. And please do not be shy. Show your love. There is a comment section. You can say what you want. You can ask us questions. You can donate. There's a thing to donate, isn't there, Matt?
There is indeed, yeah. So if you go to paypal.me/minustone, that just all helps really support the night. And just like that Pete said, just ask questions. And if you guys ask more awkward questions for Pete, we'd be really appreciated for that, because he likes awkward questions.
You can ask me whatever you like, anything. Do not be shy. Ask away. I will reply. So what are we going to do then, Matt? You want me to kick us off?
Yeah, kick us off with the poem, mate. That'd be
Let
awesome.
me remove these headphones.
Yeah, go for it. I'll let you know what's going on.
So often I walk around getting a bit lost in my head, and one day I took a break and I walked into a room, and this is what I said. My name is Peter, and I am a recovering poet. And I've been ignoring conformity my whole life, and now reality has abruptly crept up on me externally. So it's no more work on the internal needs. From this day forward, it is purely an outside job for me to be free, as this infliction has caused frictions that's ruled my diction. And I've grown wary of how scary this airy, fairy, quite contrary poetic dictionary has barely prepared me for everyday interactive festivities. I mean, do you see how easily I lose simplicity and set speed when the rhyme vine twists me with such entwined intricacy? Now, where were we? Oh, yeah, there I was, doing my best to bury my emotions, trying not to gesticulate during conversations, gluing my hands into my pockets for mine and your protection, when out of nowhere, a naughty little haiku caught my attention. And it was just the one. Well, 575 to be precise. And that was all it took to ignite and fire the fuses that are wired to the muses. And now this rogue poet is out and alive. And off into a micro poem I did dive. And it felt so wrong, yet oh, so right. And this aroused the prow of the prows, which opened up the purge pipe valves. And before you know it, I'm snorting stanzas off of sea sirens, shooting up tums and cocktailing them with tums. And it was all so much debaucherous yet innocent fun. But in the blink of the third eye, I was back to breaking form, becoming an animalistic word-eating predator, setting fire to the prey of life through a pen and paper incinerator. Crawling through the fallen poet's graveyard, where tombstones are signed from the bloodletting of becoming a political and religious outcast, where society silenced our brains because we had the audacity of sharing our pain of viewing life through a window full of the most blatant stains. Anyway, to cut a long story short, even though long stories are often short stories and short stories are often longer than they appear, where beginnings are endings and endings are never quite that clear, and not to beat around the bush, but what if the bush is regal with autumn nakedness or modeling spring wear seductiveness? I mean, come on, look, I have a problem because I just can't get to the point, because the point is attached to a followed finger that conducts a symphony of invisible harmonies that I thought everyone could understand and see, but apparently not. Apparently it's only me. And I thought everyone knew how restrictive it is breathing through similes and metaphors where sentences become statements that have to end with a stare and some sort of dramatic pause. Sometimes I want to switch it off, this view that sees more than one view, and ask just who is it who's viewing the viewer who views all these views? And why is it I can't buy what they sell us on the news? I just want to be ignorant. Can I please join that queue? Teach me to walk with the small talk and partake in only shallow thought, because I just want to read something and believe it, see something and not question and explore it. And where is this what that I was trying to say before I got lost in this fog-filled theatre known as wordplay? Oh yeah, here I am. I'm surrendering. Enough is enough. I've caught and I've called my bluff. And I'm open to suggestions, so please give me your experiences as I want to digest them. I need to fill my toolbox with a new set of weapons so I can be part of this show that's shown on life's television. And with that, the leader's eyes opened with delight, and he leaned right in, and I could sense comfort within his grin. And I was ready for him to give me the gift of his experiences and his insight. And he said to me, "Fuck off, mate. This is a building site." So that's my first one for me tonight. Oh, Matt gives me a round of applause. It's so nice to have like that.
Yeah, you got an audience
feedback.
of one.
I've got
today,
an audience of one,
yeah.
And whoever is watching on YouTube, I love and adore and appreciate every single one of you. But it's so nice to have a little bit of to and fro, Matt. That's what's been missing.
It is indeed, man. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, and
I am excited. I'm constantly excited, especially when I see you. Okay, enough of me.
It's already hot enough in here, mate. So let's not make it hotter.
We can really get it sweaty in here if you want.
I am missing the sauna, to be fair, at the gym. So you know, we can get that level of.
Let's turn the heat up in this. Let's turn the heat up in this place. So how are we doing out there, Matt? Everyone loving it? Everyone joining in?
Yeah. So far online, we've got, Tom says, holy shit, it's Thursday. So I think he must have forgot, but he's here, which is great. We love having Tom.
He is the man.
Marmite Laura says, looking forward to this. So,
Marmite Laura, you've got to adore her.
Oh, I just split you in two. Oops. We've got my mum and Andrew, all the way from Nottingham.
Hello, Mum. So,
Mum and Daddykins. Rick Warren, have a great evening, folks, and lots of claps from your poem, mate. So, including Diamond Bavell, he's loving your poem. So,
I do love that Diamond. There's many facets to that man.
And my mum says hi, Pete. So,
hello, Mum.
Yeah, and we got 15 viewers on so far. So
15
early
of you.
doors.
15 of you, beautiful people, giving us all your attention. It means so much to us. It really does. And so should we have someone on there, Matt?
I think it's time for Babel, isn't it?
It's time for that Diamond.
Yeah.
Let's get an insight into those facets.
Okay,
let's bring up Mr. Bavell.
Let me get him up on the stream. Okay.
This is the nice little waiting, pausey bit in between where we rely on technology and Matt's master skills. You got this, ain't you, Matt?
I got it.
You got this.
We can't quite hear you yet, Pavel.
Oh, I can't.
There we go. We can hear you now.
I've got to put headphones on.
You do indeed, mate. You're not going to hear him at all without headphones. So,
Mr. Bavel.
How are you doing?
I'm better now you're in the world. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, I have to say, I thought today I'd up my glasses game, but once again, you don those specs, and you know I just feel less because they're intimidating. Those glasses, they just ooze like appeal. Anyway, I'm just getting lost in your glasses. I have a question for you. Yeah, one question: who or what inspires you?
It has to be reflecting on life. There are many influences, many people who have given. So, for example, some of my mentors, like Sidhu Jaffrey, also people who I've learned public speaking from, teachers, family members, yourselves. So those are the main inspirations in addition to life.
Yeah, I relate. It's very insightful, Diamond. So what are you going to do for us tonight? I'm aware of what you do, and I'm in awe of what you do. But please explain to those who don't know.
So I do some freestyle poetry, and I ask for whoever's listening to type some words in the chat box or the comment section, depending on what platform you're looking from. And Pete, I'll ask you to just give me some help if you are able to see and just read out some of the words. And I'll do a combination of something that I feel inspired to share, as well as a combination of the words that were given.
That is excellent. So you heard it, ladies and gentle friends. Hit this man with words, and none are off limit, are they, Bavel? There is no limit because they're just words. So freestyle. What?
Apart from profanities.
Profanities. Oh. Yeah, it's lucky I'm not commenting then. Okay, so hit Bavel with your words, and Bavel, it is over to you. Matt's going to talk to you the words because he's got the screen in front of him. I haven't got the comments there.
I have indeed, yeah. So I will be. You can't see me, Bavel, but I can see you, and everyone else can see you too. So, but yeah. Do you want to go for your first piece or your introduction while we're waiting for these words? So.
Yeah, cool. My name is Diamond Bavel. I'm the composer of words, the creator of music. My message to the world, if you decide to use it, is that you are not alone. I express this through music, spoken word, and poetry, writing about the world around me that I see. So that's who I am.
Excellent.
Do we have any words at the present moment?
We have got a hell of a lot of words. Actually, I need to get there we go.
You're getting struck with words, Bavel.
I mean, this comment says you both look sexy. I'm not sure if that's a word or just a comment. So
I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Wherever you can get it, take it.
So we have got virus.
I wonder what that's about.
Achy shoulders. Anchor. Pete, have you got a pen and paper there, mate? Because I always, Bev always asks me which ones we've done.
I do.
And I always kind of make it up. And
Give me the words.
Yeah, don't really know. So we got virus, anchor, achy shoulders, stand-up paddleboard.
Someone's been tuning in.
If I can get, I've got evidence of Pete stand-up paddleboarding this morning.
Yeah, I fell in a lot.
We got money, blinkered. Fuck me, we got a lot of words. Government, public, floating.
Oh, the pen's died.
You know, I'll tell you, we'll stop there for now, and we'll get onto it. So we got as far as floating then, and we'll take the new words in a bit.
You hear them, Bavel, yeah?
Yeah, he's got them.
You got them in. I've got them on backup for you here as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll see how much I remember.
Just do a little cross off when he touches them on the old poem.
Yeah,
so yeah, cool. Right. Do you want to go for it, Bavel?
Yeah, cool. So as we are on a stand-up paddleboard, attempting to keep our balance, and when we fall, sometimes we get that aching shoulder. And as we see that governments allow us to feel even bolder, but bolder with those things that maybe we climbed on free-handed. And when we saw that this is where we stood, infected by viruses so that we could become healthy and good, putting a flip on this situation. Many things allowed us to see what life would be like if we anchored ourselves in this situation. Allow that to be some food for your concentration. And as we look to register, as we tick words off the paper so that we could see what life would be like if we just made it safer. How are we doing for words?
You got money, blinkered, and floating to go.
Cool. As we were blinkered, looking at the money that floated on the water, allowing us to see something that we ought to see, but we just jumped in, regardless of how deep the river was. Where was my surfboard, my standing paddleboard to keep me afloat? Because I forgot that I could not swim, or I was just wading through the tar that kept me buried, that kept me sinking and sinking and sinking to another page. So we pause and see if there are any more words.
There is lots more words, actually. I don't think I've had... I mean, you could tell the poets are watching this because
The poets are
more
on
words than we've ever had before, ever. So, so we've got, after floating, we've got fashion, sore feet, puppet. I'm going to put this down. I know Ginny's just saying hello, but hello, everyone. So we can put that in there.
all the words count.
Yeah. Blocked ear, half deaf. I see a theme going in there from James Linton there. So holiday, symphony. Are you getting all these, Pete?
Not at all. Not at all. This is Bavel's job. Come on, Bavel.
Antique, perception, and hope. And I'll happily read that whole list out again when you've given it a go, if you like. So,
cool. You know, sometimes we follow fashion and we buy something maybe a few sizes too small because we feel that we could fit in, like the shoes that we wear, leaving us with sore feet. And as we prepare to go through these stairs, we see a showdown. As we look at paddle boards, allowing us to see what life would be like if we just reap the rewards of what we sow. And as I take the next step, I ask for the other words that I've missed.
Okay, so you missed puppets, hello everyone, half deaf, holiday, symphony, antique, perception, hope.
As we are out perceiving hope, looking for another perspective, we could see what life would be like if it was just turning out as we expected. As we walk the streets and see that we complete many words, allowing us to see this is what we heard. Like skies and birds in the sky, allowing us to see what life would be like if they just passed us by. Like the words that were said. So let's go back and see what we have to repeat.
Okay, what do we have to repeat? You got quite a few of them in there. So, antique, did you get that one? Symphony.
Superfluous.
We got another one, Woodstock. Puppet. There's too many words tonight. You've got to calm down with the words, guys. I can't keep up. So
you told poets to add words. It's going to happen, man.
Half deaf. I'm going to read the whole list again. So and then that'll just make it easier. So sore feet, puppet, fashion, hello everyone, blocked ear, half deaf, holiday, symphony, antique, perception, hope, hello Gin. I'm assuming he means hello Ginny and not hello Gin. Actually, mind you, it's Tom Putnam here, so it could be hello Gin.
Right on the percentages tonight.
Yeah. And yeah, that's about it so far. So
cool. Hello world, hello Gin. Or was it hello Gin? Like the lights that allow us to see the shadows of the puppet figures that we make, like birds and kites. Looking into the step as we delight, wondering what life would be like if we just shone brighter. As the shadows allowed us to see pictures of fighters, allowing us to be the person we thought we could be. We have a lot more words than I expected, and let's continue to see what's on that list.
I like what you just did with halogen. Halogen, like halogen, the light we let in. Come on, Pavel. That's potent.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I think we've got. I don't even know what words you've done, mate. So there's just too many of them.
Oh, symphony as well.
Symphony, yeah. I'll tell you, why don't you do an original piece of your own?
Blast us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got one prepared, that is. So
I can prepare it right now.
Sorry, we sort of always do this last minute. So normally me and Pavel don't even sort of like have a conversation about music and words, whether it's in the venue at the Hope or tonight, and I just send him the stream and just assuming that he's kind of okay to do it. So it's never really much notice at all. So but then Pavel doesn't need notice because he can just prepare stuff just off the top of his head, and he's just incredible. So yeah, carry on, mate, carry on.
Let's see some of the thoughts that I wrote down this morning as well. So we just elaborate on that as well. And this piece is based off of waking up really early in the morning. Sometimes we wake in the night so that we could see our own light, guided by this beam that maybe came from somewhere obscene. But if we like to see what life would be like if we just held on tight to the fabric that caressed our body. You know, sometimes it's a little bit silky, but other times it's more like cotton. And they see what life would be like if it was just forgotten. Like the dreams that we had dreamt of that we put down on paper that stacked and filled our rooms like mountains. As I look in the mirror, I see the parts of me that have loved and lost, the parts of me that have lost and loved and then tossed to the side, so that we could pick up the pieces and realize that we could see that there's more to life than what we see from our eyes, especially if we see things the way that we are. I wonder if I see stars. What do you see? Do you see fantasy, make believe, or just the parts that attract more negativity? Or are they more positive? Well, either way, it doesn't matter, because we could see that there would just be many things that splatter like dots, paint, and those waterfall that drops from your eyes when you release. But we don't really cry. Maybe. As a child, when we were told not to cry, then we wonder why it becomes so manly. Not to say there's anything against it or not, but whether you create many solutions to droughts or whether you create the droughts themselves, there could be something else that allows you to feel that, you know, that feeling of relief after you've just taken that moment out for yourself and can relax. Your shoulders drop. And you feel that there is that moment in which you can light the spot, but spot lights you as we return to waking up in the darkness so we could see our own light. That's one of the reasons, and that's one of the reasons we be here and continue to shine bright. Let that be some food for thought.
Always giving us that food. Do you know, there is no hunger when you speak. There is no, you go and solve world hunger. Talk to Pavel. He'll fill you up with words of wisdom and insight of his experience. Thank you, Mr. Pavel. You are the man.
Thank you.
You are the man. He is the man. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Me too.
I sent you a little something. Pay attention. Yeah.
I'll respond.
Yeah, I know you have it, man. We got it. Yeah. So
Cool.
That's it for Mr. Bavel.
I think so. Yes. Thanks so much.
So
Pavel,
show
for
your
joining
love,
us.
people, for Mr. Bavel
Yeah,
and
show your love.
Bavel.
And not so many words next time, guys. It's hard for us to keep up,
They
please.
did storm, didn't they? You know, they did
Yeah.
storm. They did storm. So right about now, we have for you, it's really weird because like you're there, Matt, but now I've got to introduce you as one formation.
It's going to be weird.
But I have to ask you a question now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me just split screen us. There we go.
So Matt,
Yes.
who or what inspires you?
I didn't come prepared for this question, but I can answer it.
Brilliant.
Simple. I mean, you inspire me. People inspire me. You know, people that are doing stuff. Don't have to do anything necessarily like creative, but just surviving. People who survive. People who do stuff that people say you can't do that, and they go and do it. That inspires me.
That is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Tell me I can't do it and I will do it.
Yeah. So that, I mean, just people from all walks of life. I mean, even the guys at Beetroots, every week I do a workshop with them and I come away energized and inspired by their energy and their words and their creativity. So yeah, just lots of sources, you know, venues, communities, Innerverses, Music and Words, Hope, all these places, the Loading Bay, anyone who's doing something to try and bring people together, or create, you know, or go against the grain and do something which people say, oh, that won't work. Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting your time? It won't work. Like, yeah. That's kind of it, really.
That's a wonderful answer. I relate so much to that. And it was a bit like today, watching you float across the water like Jesus on this paddleboard. And I'm like, oh my God, the Messiah is here. And then I get on it thinking it's easy. And I think I drank more of the Thames today than a lot of people have. And
but you did well. You when I first saw you get on it, I thought, oh God, like this is going to be a disaster. But you got on there. You got on there on your knees, you stabilized, you actually got up and didn't fall in for like at least a minute.
At least a minute.
So unfortunately I didn't get any evidence of the falling in. So I've only got photos of you standing up, which is a positive, but you did it. So, you know,
did it.
Very impressed. And yeah.
And I lost my glasses as well, didn't I? I lost a pair of glasses in the Thames. They claimed another pair.
Unfortunately, I felt quite bad about that because I sort of even fashioned a little device.
You fashioned so I wouldn't lose them, and first fall they go straight away. It doesn't gives me excuse to spend money. Not that I need one, but so you've got a pre-recorded video for everyone now.
Yes, yeah. I just decided to sort of record some songs because we're having sort of like, well, it's just. I couldn't really play a full set in here tonight, so with all the setup and all that, so I thought, well, I'll pre-record something instead. So let me just get this video up. I was doing that while Pete was glasses shopping. So
you was doing that. I had to go and buy new glasses, and so yeah. While Matt's getting the video ready, why don't you ask Matt a question or ask anyone a question in the comments?
Well, actually, Tom Putnam's got a question for you. It says, is that why you have sunglasses on, Pete?
It is, because then what we had to do was Matt had to take me home so I could put in contact lenses, which I probably, in hindsight, should have done in the first place. And then came back and I was like, oh, I can buy some sunglasses now. So, yeah, and it's really useful because I find Matt's lights as wonderful as they make me look. They're very bright. So it's actually pulling it off quite well. So, yes, Tom, there is your answer.
Okay, so I don't want to introduce myself, so maybe you can introduce me, Pete. So,
ladies and gentle friends, would you please now give it up for the man? I call him Multi-Mac because he films it, he shoots it, he sings it, he hosts it, and just does everything. And amongst all that is an absolutely wondrous human. So could you please give it up for one formation? Yeah.
I thought I'd give myself a little slot tonight. So here's a pre-recorded session from earlier on. This song is called Where Are You Now? 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 You scared of feeling lost and alone, without a place to call home. Do you lie awake in the night and just ache from your heart to your bones? Where are you now? You entwine with a life full of love, with friends to lift you up. Do you thrive? Ideas that inspire but survive without a penny to your name. How long can we play this game? You ask yourself all the time. These changing states of our mind. Where are you now? Where are you now? You grieving for someone who has gone, without the strength to move on. But you try and hide those tears from your eyes and just pretend you're okay. Where are you now? 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 Thank you very much. Okay, this song is called Conversation Between Two Minds. Oh, when joy and pain are hard to tell between, 'cause you've fallen out of both of those feelings. Oh, when it's written deep behind your eyes within, but I still feel all your sorrow when you sing. When you walked and talked to me about your death, I can taste your fear with every trembling breath. It's the same fear that keeps you behind the door of everyone and everything that you adore. Oh, and it's often easier to play the night and slay the dragons of someone else's fight, when the hardest battle is the one that's inside. 'Cause its army grows stronger all the time. Oh, and silence speaks when words are hard to find. Oh, the message isn't clear most of the time. Oh, and age will take its toll beneath your skin. Oh, as you can't let go, you've been trying to hold it. Oh, and autumn leaves the beauty so renowned. They soon lose all their colour on the ground. And in winter, naked trees stand tall and strong. Oh, 'cause their roots are buried deep around the home. Oh, and the past comes back to haunt your widowed soul. Oh, like a ghost standing outside of your window. Oh, you can see her, but she never goes away. Oh, 'cause it's sleepless nights and nightmares in the day. La 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 la. Gracias, gracias. Thanks for tuning in to the Music and Words Club. The only real reason why I'm playing this is to give my future self a toilet break. Because normally when you're streaming live and you've got people streaming into you, you don't get much break. So this is for my future self in about a few hours' time. This last song is called Is This On? Lonely and tired in your chair, fight the moon and get out of there. When you'll have more time to spare, as if you don't, then no one will care. Is this on? Is this on? I'm sure you found the one in your days, but one that steals your heart and walks away. Well, she won't have much to say, and inside your smile will fade. Is this on? Is this on? Oh, is this on? Oh, is this on? Have you ever tried to find and lost your way? The more you search, the more you're led astray. Well, you might find me in that place, drinking blindly without faith. Oh, is this all? Is this all?
Marmite Laura.
Oh, wrong split.
Oh, we're getting split.
We are. There we
The
go.
banana splits. That was stunning, Matt.
Cheers, dude.
Honestly,
So,
poetic words you have in your songs. Poetic words.
thank you very much.
So we have questions.
Yes, there was a few questions, wasn't there?
There was a few. Let me have a look. What ones? There's one by Marmite Laura that I really, really want to answer. And then there's you have been asked, what is the meaning of life, Matt?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think we were having a discussion. I was saying I think the meaning of life is not to know the meaning of life. So it's just to be and enjoy and do what you need to do and what feels good in your heart and stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So no, it's a question.
It's a tricky one. I was going to get all clever and say number 40, whatever it is on the Hitchhiker's Guide, but I couldn't remember the number, so it just looked stupid. So I'll just tell you about it and look even more funny.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, the meaning of life, man. Just to feel your way through it. We're all just feeling our way through it. And a little thing I've learned is no one has a clue. No one actually knows. And if they do, they're pretending. Just feel, connect.
I think that's it. I think if you can, it's like when you go for a really long run and you just sort of meditate and you're in that sort of moment, that's like where we should be aiming to be rather than overthinking and stuff like that. I don't know, like it involves obviously like, you know, community, family, sort of creativity, all these other bits, but yeah.
I think that answers the second one. What makes life worth living for you?
What makes well, it's people, you know, people, and yeah, just a bit like what we said earlier on, like the inspiration from people, family, people that you're connected to, people that you're not connected to as well, like people you learn from. It's learning, it's you know, enjoying. It's yes, it's balance ultimately.
Yeah, I think it's just that word that we elusively tie up in Hollywood and misconstrued. It's that love, that appreciating things that's there and not getting trapped in ideals and just going with your experience and trusting in it.
Yeah, definitely. That's
I got a bit deep, didn't I? I just shocked myself.
That's all right. We could be deep, we could be silly,
we can
be
go
all
proper
sorts.
shallow again if you want. We can get shallow.
Who can we slag off then? So
I don't know, the council culture. Should we go in on them? The fact they even got a label now is like annoying. And And Marmite Laura, this is a fascinating. This is something I really love. This is, if you feel nervous about performing, do you have something that helps you focus? And all I can think of when I read that is, and it gave me the nice little tingle, is yes, focus on those nerves. Focus on that fear, that feeling, and all them conversations that are telling you you're going to fuck it up and people are going to judge you and all that. That is your guide to do it, and just do it anyway, because the exposure of your vulnerability and you being there and making mistakes is the beauty. That's the beauty.
I kind of agree with you actually on that, because I mean, after a while performing many times, you start losing the fear. But then I think you also begin to lose the connectivity with what makes it exciting in the first place. So, which is, something sort of like just keep pushing yourself to sort of get that fear and push through, right? So
yeah, feel the fear. Just feel the fear. It's just there. It's just to talk to it, make love to it. Tell it, I see you in me. I feel you. You're there. You're giving me information, and I need to express you. And it's just, and what it also means to me is that whatever you're doing means a lot to you.
Yeah,
it means a lot. That's why you're nervous. That's why you're scared. And it's so beautiful. And Brian Ball, if I have to read a comment saying that your poems are no good, I'm never going to talk to you again, mate, because your poems are outstanding. Yeah, you're like the one punch. Each sentence you write is like a punch, like of visceral feeling. I love it. So none of that from you, Mr. Ball. None of that.
Back to the performing thing, practical tips. I think that'd be quite an interesting thing to know, because I think it's all right saying face the fear, but any practical tips to make that fear a little bit easier to sort of like to face, like
practice your performance before. Stare at, and when you're there, don't look at the crowd. Look at the back of the room. Aim at the back of the room. Aim whatever you're doing. Aim beyond it. And if you can, I often find solace in finding a set of eyes in the room that I can just tune in on. Sometimes, do you know what I mean? Just that one set of eyes, or just someone you'll spot someone who's got the comfort vibe around them, and you just focus on that. And just like I say, practice. Don't drink a fizzy drink before, big one. And if you have rehearsed something, make sure you've shared it with someone before you do it live first. Chances are you'll stumble it, and which is beautiful. But if you really want to do that, just do that and mark up your words. If you're reading just words, mark them up. Then it's easier to not get lost in the blur of black and white. You just, because you've got marking, so it's easier to look and then look up at your audience and look back. Whereas if you do that just black or white, you look up to your audience, look back, and you've lost your place. So you can structure with your own markings and your own ways, which is really useful.
Agreed. I think a couple of things I tend to do a lot is, which I try not to do, is shut my eyes. I don't know if you saw that, but that helps me zone into the music and not worry about what's around me.
Yeah.
But maybe don't do that too often. But the other thing from a songwriter's perspective is, like, if you're just getting into it, then just make sure you really know that song or whatever, like the back of your hand, like, so you don't have to think about it. Because the problem is when you go on stage and you're thinking, trying to think about what the words are, what the melodies are, unless it's like lodged into your brain, like, you know, sort of saying the word hello, then it'll be very hard to overcome the fear to enable you to get that out in the right way. So it's like, yeah, just really know that piece, especially when you're first starting. And then when the fear starts easing up, then you can start doing what Pete does and sort of doing them on the whim, of like learn them on the day and all that. But, you know, or Bavell, you know, even as great as what Bavell does, and just, you know, but it's a practice thing. And when, the more you perform, the easier it gets, isn't it? So
yeah, and I'd say, listen, I started off really small. I would, it's just share with your friends first. What do you think of this? Was how I was. I've been writing, you know, and I'm a bit nervous and shy about it. Share it with my friends. Then I joined a little writers group, or any group, like a songwriters group, anything like that. Then I went to that group, and then that group are like, you need to perform this. And then I'm shitting my pants. But they've installed a bit of faith in me, is the point. They installed a bit of faith in me to try this. Then I go and perform it, and hit open mics, hit ones out of town, get to know the community of people. Everyone is really, I've found, quite welcoming, you know, and people just want to hear you. So just do that.
Yeah. And just do it as many times as you can. Even if you're scared, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. So I mind you, I say that I don't really perform at Innerverse very much, which you keep telling me to. So
I will, and I will keep on telling you. But when you do, it's beautiful, you know, and it's just we were just up there giving it what it is, you know, giving people who we are, and you got to respect that. I find.
Well, it's 20 past now, so I think we
got time. We got time, and now we have for you, my ladies and gentle friends of the audience. For your pleasure, we have for you a wonderful poetess, and her name is GABRIELLE WESTHEAD. And I'm going to invite her on now. Matt, you going to bring her on?
Yeah, just get her in the room.
Let's bring her on.
So there we go. We got her on the screen. So
Hello.
there we go.
Oh, there's that smile. How are we, Gabriella?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm still all me, and that's good enough.
Thanks for your wise words just now about nerves.
Oh, did it help? Did it?
Yeah,
I'm so glad. You got the nerves?
a little bit, but it's more
Yay.
like adrenaline.
Yeah, it
It's
courses through your system. You can feel it giving you information, right?
It's a great feeling.
Yeah. You got to learn. That's the thing. Tell yourself it's a good feeling instead of a bad one. Is what, you know, because there's no such thing as bad feelings. They're just feelings. So it's, I'm glad that inspired you. That's really good. As you inspire me, as people are about to find out when they hear what you have to say. But first, Gabby, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So who or what inspires you?
I'm going to go for who. So hopefully most of you know who this person is. Her name is Maya Angelou.
I do.
And she's no longer alive, but I think her spirit is eternal. She was an incredible poet, civil rights activist, author, and really it's her life story that inspires me the most, because when she was young, she was about 8 years old and she experienced abuse. And so she went mute as a result of her trauma for 5 years. So she didn't talk at all. But in that time, kind of as she was becoming a teenager, she read books, you know, she absorbed the world around her, she listened, and then eventually she found her voice again. So her poetry and her writing is so powerful because she's transformed this pain into absolute healing. And it's something that I'm kind of trying to do with my work, but I think it requires a lot of courage to do that.
It does.
So yeah, definitely Maya Angelou.
Oh, I didn't know that about her being muted. I know the one that our greatest fear is how good we can be. Yeah. That one, don't quote me on it, but not how bad we can be, how good we can be. You know, is the bait. It's just, it always gives me the nice shivers when I read that one. It's really good.
Yeah.
So Gabby, you obviously, I know you and you know me, and people don't here. Well, they might do if they're blessed enough to have met you. And but you are going to share with us your writing.
I am, yeah. So I've got 5 poems lined up, and they're all very different. They all touch on different topics. And something I'm doing at the moment is kind of playing with rhyme and repetition. Yay. So, and they're very short as well. So they're to the point. One of them's quite deep. But yeah, they're quite lighthearted overall.
Yeah, I'm excited, and please show Gabby love in the comments. Come and ask her questions, because we're going to take a little pause between each poem. And so with that, Gabby, please give us your first poem.
Thank you. So this poem is called Letter to My Hair. So some of you might have heard me perform this before. And it's a poem that I wrote about a month ago. And it makes me smile. Is everything okay? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Sorry. So when I perform this poem, it makes me smile. So I thought, why not start with this one? So it's called Letter to My Hair. We've never had it easy, you and me. Many a moment at the mercy of a comb. Yet somehow we've pulled through, got through the rough times, unknotted. Back then, I just wanted you to be straight with me. I mean, you were relaxed for a while. Your teenage angst transitioned. You slowly grew out of it. It's natural. Your plaits are like the plates that hold my food, bone china, strong yet delicate, standing the test of time, remarkable. I thought you were something to master, to neaten and to tame. Yet all you seek is freedom, kinky, curly, coily afro. I embrace. Our relationship status? I'd say complicated. One moment I love our tangled intricacies. The next I want to break up and let you go. Close shave. I promise to treat you more kindly, maybe caress you from time to time. Saved by coconut oil once again, the savior in our love triangle. I'll order more. That's the first one.
It makes me smile and laugh when I hear it. It's just for the freedom.
Me too.
Freedom of the hair. And I was trying to test out. I was trying to see if we could talk in between. Turns out we can't. You can hear us, you know. So
Okay.
my test worked.
That's fine.
Very well. But it did not take away from the beauty of that poem. It's so powerful. I love it.
Brilliant. Fab. So I will continue.
And Matt will tell us when we have questions or anything like that for you. So please ask Gabby questions. And you're getting a lot of love as usual. That never surprises me. So
thank you.
What else you
Brilliant.
got? Give us another one.
So my next poem is called Young Woman. So last week I was asked to write a poem to encourage young women. Because being young isn't easy in this world. Being a woman isn't easy. And I think being a young woman is very challenging. So this poem is really kind of what I want to hear, you know, as a young woman. So it's kind of like my gift to all young women out there. So it's called Young Woman. Growing up in this wounded world, it isn't easy. Watching the news can leave you queasy, but you, young woman, you are special. Your smile has the power to make others smile. You have enough love in your heart for a mile, and you, young woman, you are loved. There's no need to compare yourself to anyone. Look forward and be proud of the good you've done, because you, young woman, you are precious. You have the capacity to change your life and the courage to encourage others in their strife. You see, young woman, you are strong. You may be the one holding your family together. You hold an umbrella of hope, whatever the weather. Don't you see, young woman, you are victorious. Young woman, your story has only just begun. Just by being you, you have already won. So that's Young Woman.
Oh, inspiring young woman. That is so you. That is so you. That is Gabby. And you were getting a lot of love, isn't she, Matt?
Yeah, lots of love. So
what you got to say to Gabby, Matt?
Just amazing. Yeah, it's really nice to have you on the show, obviously, because it's the first time you've been at Music and Words. Oh, I've got Pete on
It
there,
is, yeah. And I live in Windsor as well, so I kind of have no excuse before. Yeah.
Okay, when this is all over, you're going to come to the Hope and perform without a doubt. So
definitely, I would love to.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there we go.
Fab.
And you
Shall
got?
I crack on?
Yes, please crack on.
Okay, so this next poem, is slightly more angry. So most of my poetry is either really, really happy, really inspiring, or really angry. So this is a kind of angry poem, but I usually perform with a smile, so the anger might not come through. So it's called Uprising, and actually it's not complete, but I thought I'd share it anyway, and it might help the completion process. So it's called Uprising. We have seen reforms and revolutions in history, but what about her story? What about their story? What about mine? The knowledge you seek might be new to you, but the pain, the growth, the awareness is far from new to me. It's me. Most grow up thinking that politicians will save us. I'm grateful to think differently. I grew up thinking that inner change will endure us, a new human revolution. Getting out of bed is my uprising. Going into work is my uprising. Proudly letting my hair out is my uprising. Connecting with my poetic spirit is my uprising. And I will rise. I will rise. That's a kind of ode to Maya Angelou there, for those of you who are a fan of Maya Angelou.
Oh, that is just rise up, Gabby, rise up.
Rise
You're rising
up.
us all up here right now.
Thank you. So actually, my next poem, it's on my phone, so I'm going to be looking like up and down a little bit. And actually, this was the first poem I performed at Innerverse, Pete.
I remember.
You encouraged me to get up and just speak my mind.
I could give you. I saw you had the twinkle that you wanted to. You just needed a little poke. That was all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just needed a nudge, really, to believe in myself, and to believe that my voice is valid. So
your voice is very valid.
Thank you. So I wrote this poem, so it was the 14th of June 2018, and so 2 years ago, and my life was a bit of a mess. I was going through quite a lot of heartache, kind of losing myself a little bit, but really understood that the only way that I could overcome my challenges was to encourage myself. I was the only one that was gonna, make myself happy.
Yeah.
So this poem is a bit deep, but it's kind of like a letter to myself to encourage myself. So it's called Scared to Lose You, and it might, you might be able to connect with it. I'm scared to lose you. You see, I'm not talking about a guy or a girl. I'm talking about myself. You, that strong girl. You, that bold girl. You, that traveling girl. You, yes, you, Gabrielle. It's funny when people talk about you in third person, as if you're not the third person in the room. Gabrielle is amazing, my friend said. Humble, my ego cannot be fed. With all the stress and anxiety that's been happening lately, it's no wonder I feel this way. Waking up panicky and late, dreading what's to come in the day. I'm scared to lose you. You see, you are greater than you think, I tell myself. You just need to see that for yourself, I tell myself. Hang in there, girl, because this is just the beginning, the start of a long, long journey of this thing we call life. That's that one. Thank you for listening.
That's potent. I love that, when people say stuff like you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole of you, that thing they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really relate to that a lot.
But I am one of these people that if I'm struggling, I don't really let it be seen. So and at this particular point in my life, it was very visible that I was in a lot of pain.
You got one of those faces that can't hide it, Gabby.
Yeah.
The body
I'm very
speaks.
expressive.
The body speaks when we can't express it.
Yeah. It's very true. So I have one more poem, and it's a happy poem, and it's written to all the poets out there. So it's kind of from a poet to a poet, and it's called Poetic Spirit. And I recently attended a poetry webinar that basically encouraged everyone to realize that they have poetic spirit. Even if you're a poet or you're not, there is this ability within you you can tap into it. So I found that very encouraging. And I heard this quote. And so this poem is based on the quote that I'm about to read. And the quote is, "The poetic spirit has the power to retune and reconnect a discordant, divided world." So poetry is very powerful, basically.
Yeah.
So this poem, it's quite short, lots of repetition, but I hope you enjoy it. Precious poet, I hope you know how diamond-like you are. Your semantic energy bursts like a star, precious poet. Courageous poet. You express words that others think. You have the power. Sorry, you have words. I'm going to start again. Sorry.
You got it.
Okay, it's lots of P's. Right. Precious poet. I hope you know how diamond-like you are. Your semantic energy bursts like a star, precious poet. Courageous poet. You express words that others think. Your words have the power to make hearts link, courageous poet. Kind poet. Compassion rides through your literary flow. Your words have the power to help people let go, kind poet. Creative poet. You transform raw feeling into words, tattooed onto the page, waiting to be heard, creative poet. Stepping into your struggle is brave. Each wondrous word has the potential to pave. You're precious, courageous, kind and creative. Your poetic spirit gives me the strength to live. There you go.
Oh, Gabby, that's wonderful. And
it's great to make a mistake, actually. I think I was so worried about being polished.
Yeah, no, mate. Listen, isn't it beautiful, that little feeling, that rush you get when you make a mistake and you suddenly realize that's all it is. That's all it is.
I just go, bleh. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Thank you for this opportunity.
No, thank you so much. And that's been a conversation I've had with a lot of people lately around, especially around this lockdown, of everyone's going, I'm not creative, and how creativity has become this professional thing. And it's like, no, if you're alive and you're breathing, you are creative. And whatever has diminished that in you, you need to remove from your life, because you are creative in ways that just because it has become this professional label, you know, and it's like, no, everyone's creative. So I really love the way you express that.
Thank you. And I think also being part of a community that supports you. So like Innerverse Music and Words Club, you know, being around people who actually want you to do well and encourage you to explore that potential is priceless. So yeah, happy to be your friend, Pete.
Happy to be your friend and your lovely mum, who is I love you.
I think she's watching.
Hello Lola. Hey, and what are people telling Gabby, Matt?
There is loads of things they're telling Gabby. Hold on a second. I'm just going to get my face on the screen.
Can't see anything. So.
You can't. I think that's the beauty thing about performing, because I mean, I get distracted by the comments all the time when I'm performing. I always like make mistakes. So I see a comment pop up and I forget the words. But yeah, so you had like inspiring, beautiful poems. This is beautiful, poetic perfection in your passionate poet. Well done, Gabby. Wins are finally being repped at the Innerverse. So there we go. You are special, inspiring stuff. Yeah, just so much love on there. Seriously, like, and you're right. That's that supportive community with the Innerverse, and obviously what we do here as well. But it's just thanks for being a part of it and inspiring us with your words and your chat, and it's been great. So,
yeah, thanks, and I hope to see you on our Sunday walks.
Me and Richard I hope to join. Yeah, because I live down the road.
We are doing a walk which everyone is invited to. You're all welcome. 2:30 on a Sunday. We meet at Hollyport Green and we set off at 3. Come and talk with us. You'll hear. It just gets nice and weird, nice and like, and just the flow as you walk of weird conversation that feels safe to express is really nice.
That's my kind of thing.
Yeah, I know you love it. Yeah, we'll see you there. 2:30 Hollyport Green on a Sunday. There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby. Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm feeling nice and fueled up at the moment off of what's been expressed here so far.
Oh, it's been amazing. Seriously, like, I don't think I've seen Gabrielle perform before at the Innerverse, because I usually show up late after Beetroots, but yeah, that was amazing. So,
she's amazing.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's just so expressive. It's really, honestly, it puts me in a bit of a trance.
No, it's brilliant. And I think what she's saying is right about having the community around you to inspire you to do things. And I think, like, if you're in a spot and you're not around supportive people, then find new people. You know, find a new community. Find someone who's going to bring you up rather than bring you down. It's really important. So. But yeah, Mr. One Man's in the building.
Matthew One Man. I like the fact
that he actually announced One Man in the building. So
there is one man in the building. If you don't know about that one man can, and he does, and he creates the most amazing artwork, a lot, as well as what he does with looping is beyond the word loopy.
If you guys are intrigued, beautiful. Watch this space tomorrow night, because we got him doing a set in the studio.
He is.
Yeah, so it's 7 till 7:45. Don't be late, because we will be starting dead on 7. And yeah, he'll be sort of doing all these wondrous things and his weird things with the feet. You know, I've never seen someone be able to control the loop pedal so well with his toes.
I know, I've never been into feet, and people have that whole foot fetish thing, but when I see him work his toes, I'm slightly disturbed by how I feel.
It's very impressive though.
It's very impressive. I've never seen toes move in that way. I didn't know it was humanly possible.
I think I might just set up a camera on his toes and
I think you should
follow them around.
Treat the people. And so yeah, and thank you all who are listening and watching, and don't forget the PayPal donations pot is there, because you know it goes towards is running events like this to keep people having a space to hold things. Isn't that right, Matt?
It is indeed. Yeah, we need more spaces, especially with the whole COVID thing. I think like the arts is definitely suffering. COVID thing, COVID, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, you can sit on a plane and go to Spain, but you can't go to a music venue. I mean, I know that's going to change, but it's still it's tricky. It's tricky. So we need to support the spaces, whether they're online, keep the communities together. and just keep everyone sort of in a good place, really. So
yeah. And I would say on that community thing, for me, I had to create one.
Yeah.
I had to create one, and I got met with barrier until I just reached an internal point of fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, and then suddenly everything emerges, and people go, oh, you're doing something. I want to join in, and then suddenly you've got a community.
Yeah, and you, I think you were even saying earlier on that actually, like, a few people have said to you, I want to start poetry nights as well, and you just be like, yeah, go and do it.
Please start a poetry night. The more nights we have in our town of you will attract your tribe of people, and then the more of these people that are putting on events and having them, it's a great thing.
Yeah,
please do it, and then we have a cultural hub of entertainment.
Agree. I think like what you're saying, like you were met with barriers about certain things, and for me, when I came back to Windsor, I was not particularly felt that comfortable with open mics because my songs are fairly quiet, you know. So amongst a sea of covers, it sort of gets lost in the sea of people chatting around you and stuff like that. So I'm not knocking open mics. I think they're really, really great. But I'm just saying, if you put on your own thing, you get to do it your way. Do you know what I mean? So you get to sort of like have what you want to show to the world, and that's going to be different from Pete's night, from my night, from Ginny's night, from someone else's night. You know, you just got to do. And the more that happens, then the more culturally rich the town will be. So, and
then you can have joint nights where you all meet up and celebrate each other, you know, and share each other.
Innerverse and Music and Words Tonight is a classic example.
Exactly, because you went for things I went for. I love open mics, but like you said, the whole pub and crowd is being loud, and it's great because you get to learn to shout at an audience. Yeah, and they will listen tonight.
Yeah,
but I wanted to create somewhere where people are listened to, just like what you did, and I'm really. It really makes me feel good to know that that's happened, and that people feel like they're being heard and not just the background noise in a pub, you know?
Exactly. And I said there's sort of like spaces for all of it, and that's the whole point. You know, there's not one night that's better than the other one. It's like there's spaces for everything, and people will have preferences about what they prefer. Like some of my mates prefer an open mic where they can sing along to covers and things like that than to come into one of my ones. But that's cool.
I love a cover. It's like, I even sing along.
Yeah, but
it's not a good thing, but it's an attempt. You know, it's an attempt. So, are we on time, Matt?
We are indeed. Yeah, I have no idea what the time is, but we're definitely on time.
8:40. That means up next we have for you, ladies and gentle friends, and please comment. You can't ask Nick questions because he's not here, but he was here earlier recording, wasn't he, Matt?
He was indeed. Yeah. So he's he played again at the Music and Words a few times, and he was. Yeah, he sort of did just like an acoustic performance tonight. I know he's got more of an electric thing going on, but he's absolutely amazing. His name's Nick Milan, a good friend of mine from Windsor for many, many years.
He's lovely.
He's kind of like moving house tonight, I think, or his partner's moving house, so he's sort of doing all that business. So he came down to do the studio thing, which is amazing, just to get the set pre-recorded. But he won't be able to answer any questions, unfortunately. But anyway. Post him up anyway, and when I see him, I'll tell him.
And so listen, it's time for some music, seeing as we are Music and Words Club. Up next, we have for you Mr. Nick Milan. Show him love, people. Show him love. And with that, here he is, Mr. Nick Milan.
I'm just going to try a fancy transition on the camera now.
Let's get fancy.
Thank you to Matt and Pete at the Music and Words for inviting me down to play. My name is Nick Milan, and all these songs are off my debut album, if you will, made and finished in lockdown. Apologies if you people have heard it, but this one goes out to the one I love. This is called By Your Side. I am an ocean, I am the sun, I am a mountain, and I have begun. I'm a reflection, lost in light. I'm an obsession you won't find. I am the answer to all my prayers. I am someone who'll meet you there. I am electric and made on wire. I I am a sunbeam and I am a liar in this light. By your side is where I shine, and I won't never say goodbye. Will you be mine? Will it be right before one of us leaves this ride? I am the sunlight when it cuts through. I am the seaside when it's blue. I am a feeling lost inside. I am a razor, I am a lie. I have an answer and I don't care. I have a feeling that I don't dare. I am a mountain, I am the sun. I am believing I have begun in this light. By your side is where I shine, and I won't never say goodbye. Will you be mine? Will it be right before one of us leaves this ride? You are an ocean and you are the sun. You are a mountain if you have begun. Like a reflection, lost in a ride. With an obsession, you are fine. You are the answer to all our prayers. Are you someone who made me there? 'Cause I am electric and made of wire. I am sunbeam and I am alive in this life. By your side is where I shine, and I won't ever say goodbye. Will you be mine? Will it be right before one of us leaves this ride? Okay, this next one's a rendition of an old song from Yugoslavia. I think it was released 84, 85, something like that. Don't hold me to that. But I've been sort of working on a lyrical translation probably for 10, 12 years or something. So this is called Blues Mutne Voda. If we are born equal, are we not brothers? So I don't know, fish swim for the top. If there is an evil living above us, that makes a slave of all that you know. Through this recession, lost in depression, I look for just one soul in the world, for one another, and care and affection. Whose are these words if they're not my own? I'm singing my blues, it's not an addiction. And to me the fattest fish are bitches. I'm just sitting on the sidelines and see. I have a brain and nothing for me. All I want is for us to be free. We all die with this life. The deception is rife and greets the light as the fat fish shot out of sight. Our freedom's a lie in history's eyes. Oh my God, was George alright? To those who feel it, never deceive it, never let go of all that you know. It's an incision on your obsession to find a way to get to your soul. I'm singing my blues, it's not an addiction. And to me the fattest fish are the bitches. I'm sitting on the sidelines free. I have a brain, and I think for me, all I want is for us to be free. We all dying with this life. I lead with my ego to you and me go. If I should fail, don't ever let go of all that started and then departed. All is in bloom, the street's not a home. Through this recession, lost in obsession, get to the truth, you know what it holds. How if you read it, never believe it, never you mind all you need to know. I'm singing my blues, it's not an addiction. And to me the fattest fish are the bitches. I'll sit on the sidelines and see. 'Cause I have a brain, and I think for me, all I want is for us to be free. We all die with this life. All right. One more. Again, thank you, Matt. I've been Nick Milan. This last song, I actually recorded and finished this right after recovering from suspected symptoms of COVID-19. I had to self-isolate for 3 weeks. And I want to dedicate, this goes out to all health workers all around the world. And this song's called Medicine Men. Goodbye, my friend. Where will you now go? I hope the day we meet to fail and that just know we shattered like a stone in the rain. On the open sea, an unprotected flame that we take to our grave. We cannot escape, it burns at the inside, and there waits it may be too late, it may be just a dream, it may be now a time to hold the hate within, all trying to see a better day. It may be a sign, it may be just a phase. We may have realized all that is at stake as we ride out the storm out at sea. There may be no reason, maybe there's no God. It may be the season, it may be your soul that is sold to me. That is sold to me. It may be your season, it may be your throne. It may be the season, it may be your soul that is only from the rain. Try no reason, try the name, try the season, find a new day when we're walking free. When we're walking free, there may be no reason, maybe there's no God. It may be the season, it may be your soul that is only, that is only.
I love that. See that walk away? Did you see that walk away at the end, Matt? That was amazing. That was the powerhouse. That was Nick Milan. Come on. That was fire. He was giving that. And you should have seen his serious mood before, wasn't it, Matt? He was in full performer mode. Like, yeah, he gives it. He gives it. That was stunning. Nick Milan, everyone. Nick Milan in the house.
Nick Milan, yeah.
Yeah, give it Nick Milan. Yeah, that was stunning. He got a lot of love on the comments, didn't he, as well?
He did indeed. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I like about, bringing the communities together. You get to experience new stuff. So, and yeah, Karen says really like this. Eleanor, really brilliant. Mark says great stuff. Love this, Nick, says Ginny. Yeah, shame Nick's not here to see, but he will catch up, I'm sure.
He will, man. He's got the link. Beautiful.
So, great, man. So how you feeling, Pete?
I feel great. I feel good. How about you, Matt? How are you feeling?
Yeah, great, man. It's nice to have someone to bounce
to and fro. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, the last time I think Eleanor and Jen were in the studio, it was great because they were bouncing off each other, but I was behind the scenes. I was like, keeping quiet.
Yeah,
but now we get to
now we get to speak.
Yeah, exactly, man. So and you are our featured poet tonight, aren't you? So
I am
featured performer.
Yeah.
You've also been a featured act in the past as well, the Music Words in the Real World. So
I have, and it's always you've given me a nice space to really practice, try new things, and engage with the audience, and try out little comedy bits and all types of things, and just mainly just get to play around and perform, which I find it's really helped me. You've really helped me a lot.
So I'm going to ask you that. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm just going to remind people about the PayPal. I've just posted a link up there. I think someone asked what was the PayPal thing. And then we're going to go back onto you. It's all about you now. And I'm going to ask you the same question you've been asked everyone else. What inspires you? Who inspires you? Blah, 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 that kind of thing. So your question back at you.
What and who inspires me? There is so many inspirations that I have. I have had the pleasure of meeting people in my life that have been through remarkable journeys that to relate to my own would a lot of people don't survive what these people have been through, and to see them not only survive but thrive was the biggest change in my life. And to always not to get too cheesy, but to have that unconditional love, those people who love you no matter what you do, no matter how mad the shit is you've been up to in your life, they are there and they love and support you, and they just give you the truth, and everything sort of inspires me. A bit like Bavel said, anything, man. It can be, I was up north and my mate's feet stunk, absolutely stunk. Yeah. And it was like, my dad's been dead many years, but his feet stank. Yeah, like honestly, man, they would clear a room. And when I was little, that was like the worst thing. You never want to smell it. But when I smelled my mate's feet, it gave me all this emotions of my dad and the memory, and it was a smell I hated, but yet when I smelled it, it flooded me with thoughts. So it could be smells, it can be a line in a song, it can be a kiss, it can be an ankle, it can be anything, man. Anger is a very useful source of information, I've found, because a lot of people connect with that, and I connect with that, and it's always in the way of what's actually really going on. So it's really good to express that. But everything, you inspire me, life inspires me. The fact that we're all on a ball that's spinning, and we're just here in this what shouldn't be an existence. It's a thin line, you know, that it's a really thin blue line that we're all here, and that inspires me, and that we're all getting through this, no matter what our struggles. You know, people who a single mum, like, inspires me.
That's really inspiring words, Pete. So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to go for your set? So everyone put their hands together for Mr. Pete Cox, our featured act tonight, and I'm gonna leave you to it, dude, for a bit. So.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I have to thank Matt for this, and please, you can ask me anything in the questions. I'll do one, and then this was the first time I ever performed. Some beautiful lady called Mary Paris pushed me to perform, and she told me it would be easy. And I went there, and there was a lot of people there, and I was shitting my pants, and I still did it anyway. And this was the first time it was just and it's the first poem, rhyme, whatever you want to call it, that I remembered. So, fire and me have history. My curiosity into its illuminating mystery and its tenacity to always return that love all burnt up and blistery, where gunpowder, treason and plot turned into fun, power, reason, and what? And now Burnt Thumbs was number 1, 3 and 4, and trust me, that shit was sore, yet still my enticement led me back for more. And 2, 5 and 6 was just pure attempts at being a poor arsonist, as fire-starting prodigies just added to the fire in me. See? My head is a minefield of lies and deceit, so I'll be sure to cash in on my old receipts. As to receive what I perceive, I must believe that they can weave and deceive and leave a transient seed that can mislead and displease me if not released, you see. So it's written with complete creative freedom, for which I'm smitten to meet with some native narrative provocation. A flammable yet amicable light into the intangible that handles a candle to highlight every angle of a scandal from a vandal that went on a brief sabbatical and then came back with these grammatical fantasticals. With these intrepidous, splendiferous, meticulous rhymes that advanced in such ways, even Columbo couldn't solve these crimes. So watch the proximity of crotch-styled similes boxed in hot pity from years of watched and filed away imagery, as there's more chemistry in our brainstem's tree than these so-called allies supplying these so-called terrorists with weapons, you see. Land of the free is always land of the thief, and politics is always a blood-stained street. So, Matt, if you're tired of people bending you, plying you, playing you, trying you, and all the time something inside is dying in you, well, be true, be you, fuck the who, the they, the nay, the those who question what you say. They forge the feelings for these words today, they can't play. You're unique, so be magnifique. They're so dense, they're O-peak. They shake fake where we cause quakes, plates rupture and break, and they're just no good, especially for your goodness sake. So the sign of the times is a line and a rhyme. Is it bountiful? Is it fruitful? Well, it's not chopped up on a cubicle for nostril consumables who can't do it in public because it's not fully legal, but yet they plant alcohol for acceptable susceptibles. And yet background substance is front house ignorance, and front house insufficiency is backroom indifference. The ends are all the same. Some are just more instant. And it's all the same disease. So just check the distance. As I can blabber slow or fast, a vast throw for a casting that leaves jaws open to a flabbergasting and usually leaves my mouth dry like I've been fasting on a ship that needs masting and sails and impales cats by their tails and leaves a trail like a tongue-tied snail. This is a rambling from poetic kisses, gambling wishes for the fishes that bow to God's dishes. These are all just frivolous frailties that pale on the lighter side of life, deep-rooted insecurities. This is a rambling. Who knew what it would bring? Started out with fire, became alluring, and then it switched to substance abusing, which is always amusing. And then it turned to a curing of the hymns, of just what is other people's idea of a sin. Now, maybe I'm losing the spark, or could I be falling short of the mark, which actually is where sin originates, and apparently that's not even good enough for godness' sake. So let's not pitter-patter around the fecal matter. Instead, you can sit and knit and natter with all the clown communal rappers. As I'm tired of scrapping with slacking, as I've tried tapping the brain's mapping like Nestle does fracking and found unstable cables mixed with fantasies fables. So I'll stick to hijacking, as my tips are hacking, are lacking in optics like winter in the tropics. I just couldn't cop it, so I stopped it, I clocked it, I got it. Resistance is futile, existence is meanwhile, and consistency is stockpile and persistence is exile. While all the while I pile a mile of my memories piles of style that cry from tiles of proof that not every home needs a roof. But at this time, that was just my vocal root truth. So please, to yourselves be kind, as freedom really is a state of mind. So there's the first one for you there.
That was epic, Pete. Absolutely amazing. I always remember that one. That really stands out. So yeah.
Thanks, man.
You got loads of love on the stream, and your glasses have become a hit with the audience.
Oh,
so,
my glasses. Yeah.
Mr. One Man says the sunglasses have given you the 7th dimension, Pete. So
coming from that man who is like taking a human sheet of acid, I'll take that.
And Protest Media says Rockstar Pete.
Hey, Matt Carr in the house.
Yeah, stunning delivery of a fab poem. So when I want to be a poet, I listen to Pete, says Sean Pointer Smith. So
I love Sean. That's Gabby's boyfriend. Yay.
So yeah, lots of love, dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And now, before I go into the more remembered ones, I thought I'd read a recent one, because what it also inspires me is my own bullshit. Yeah, my own bullshit inspires me so much. And it's pretty much explained in the poem, but I couldn't see it. You know, and you can't see it, Matt. You just can't see it. And I've learned you just write it down. You just write it down. Even if you don't know what you're writing, don't overthink your writing. Just write it down. Because then it takes it away from this space, takes the fluidity of it and pins it onto paper. So yeah, this is it. How do I start it? I don't know where to begin it. And what if this is all there is? Just this. I was telling whatever gods would listen about my seriously rigid fire-felt troubles. Instead of telling my troubles, the humorously soft water-like fluency of my God. Smiles sang on a Monday, creeping out of faces stripped of their corners. Society is getting warmer. And I'd sat in for a while in the problem, looking for abuse and more. Then I stumbled into the solution, wondering where all the wanting went. Riding the rapture of human revolution, landing inside the blindfold of obsession, serving a sharpening of my attention till the blade blunted, because denial is a sleeper hold. I won't see it. I'll feel it. The inertia of pain noticing me, taking away enjoyment. I mean, I've written poetry till I hate it, meditated till I faced it, tasted and pushed it through the strainer of accepting it, and still it finds me. At least the arsehole's left. One good consequence of meditating. Obsession. It constantly surprises me, saddens a sigh inside of me. I nearly cry about it, till I obsess about not crying about it. And then my dad's name is mentioned, and the lagoon of tears touches the back of my eyes. At this moment, I could cry. So instead, I tell a joke. Humor clears away the lump in my throat. These parts of me I love. All the overwhelming urges, unsaid feelings, fears of rejection. Laying in the what if and if what. For whose preservation? I'm just the pea protecting my own reservations. Invisible wisdom tells me to seek sense. I unpackaged all the pretty pretense, put down my fears, held by her hands, choking my heart. What if all that's left of me is this? Is it my lot? Historically, no story ends in a full stop. So I'll leave mine up to the ... dots. And that's my... It was like an argument with myself.
It's funny, we were having a conversation about what my other song was about, and I said it was about conversation between...
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of it's nice to hear that
It's really cool because we were having that conversation. Then Gabby mentioned human revolution in her poem, which is in my poem, and then Bavel mentioned crying in his poem and not understanding of it. And I was like, oh, it's nice to see. It just humanizes everything, because when I'm in that dreadful, fearful place, my mind tells me that none of you lot ever understand. You'll never understand. And when it's expressed, you go, oh yeah, I get it. She gets it. He gets it. We're all human.
I think that's what the beauty of having poetry and music and books and things like that to read is like. When you ask a person normally in the street, how you doing? They'll just say, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. They won't express what they're really kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And
you don't go down the pub and talk about your feelings, do you?
No, of course you don't. No, we don't do that. But,
do you know what I mean? It's a bit of an odd one.
But in a sort of environment where you're able to share your words and express yourself, then you can have the discussion about it, and I think that's one of the things that I used to find really powerful with the music when I used to do the youth work stuff, is like that's a good way in to like a young person's sort of like conversation, because they say stuff and you can even question it as saying, hang on a minute, are you really meaning what you're saying? Just like another one of your poems which you go on to at some point, or like, oh, hang on a minute, there's some really dark stuff there, let's have a chat about that. And it's it's cool, nice sort of therapy for the soul and mind. But I won't babble on too much.
How am I doing on time, mate?
You're fine. There's not really any sort of time limits.
Okay,
we're online, so you
just
on,
prompted me to do a poem that I wasn't going to do, but you just prompted me to
do it.
I usually use Anyway to God, who is one very deep cerebral thinker, as most of you would have heard and experienced.
I think Anyway is actually joining Matthew One Man tomorrow in here, so that'll be in a social distance way. It's I don't know how big the room is, but it's plenty. It's fine. It's all good.
Oh, that's going to be so cool.
So
but normally he responds, but you're there, Matt.
I'm here. So
why do I do this, Matt?
Why do you do this?
Why?
I do know this next part.
Why do I do this? Is it because nowadays there's so many third-eyed reciters with this one-way focus, hocus pocus that they say to sound so woke, as they invoke incantations and spiritual legislation just to build some sort of fan-based fascination, where it takes a little bit of thought and dedication, so they're going to cop a little bit of a mention. I mean, please tell me they're aware and woke enough to know that they are talking pure shite with all this trite that they spew at us tonight, right? You know the ones, Matt. These beings of light that are always right because they're never wrong. Well, I do this for the ones out there scratching their head, feeling all alone and misled amongst the valley of sheep that they fed. I do this for you. The spirituality and this consciousness vibe have become the next religious tribe. And I have to get away from the lies that they fantasize. It's not lining up to my reality or my experiences, guide. And it's nice ideals they yell at the show and tells. And it's good wordplay they convey on a conveyor belt of multi-syllable free-for-alls. But where is the truth? Where is the pain from the uproot that comes from looking at the darkness that ensues this view that you claim to have viewed? Or is it just a way to be heard in a herd of words that serve no purpose? And haven't we had enough of that from the kids, the youth, when they talk about guns and knives and bitches and ice, when we all know they never have and probably never ever will live that lie life, but they feed that lie life until they bleed that real life. All because it sounded good, right? Same pattern, different suits. Now, I don't know a lot. And half of everything I remember, I've probably already forgot, but it's my lot. And experiences is something it certainly has got. And that is something that all that bullshit cannot and will not ever stop. So maybe, Matt, maybe that's why. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I was just pissed off and wrote a rhyme. Oh. Well, you get a bit of my leg shot there.
I know. I mean, does anyone want to see Pete's shorts?
You want to see my shorts?
I mean, this is what all the Zoom people are seeing.
This is what they're seeing. They're seeing these lovely lemons that I have on parade. And you can also see my Neapolitan tan. Vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get to look at them shorts all night, so I'm very lucky.
I feel it must be hard for you. I feel the heat rising in here.
That's great, man. Also, I'm glad you did that poem. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. It means a lot because it was. I'd go to events and hear people talking all this wisdom, and what I was taught: don't listen to what people say. Watch how they live. and then see them act a totally different way. And
yeah.
And I'm guilty as well. I'm just a human. I make a shit ton of mistakes. They're usually, all my awakenings are rude ones. And so it was my way of expressing the frustration that I had with that.
I think we're all a little bit guilty of sometimes being a bit preachy, but then not actually like doing what we say we're doing. And we're good at giving advice, but not following it ourselves, right? So, but yeah, I think there was one time you performed that, and there was a poet at one of the events, and you were like, you guys get to choose which poem you want, and it's you might fall out with someone if they choose the wrong one, wasn't it? So I
have performed that. That is a poem that I have actually been confronted on by people, and I said to them, well, look, the clue's in the poem. Ask yourself why that offends you. Yeah. Ask yourself why. There's a reason that's pissing you off.
But I think that's totally a good thing to do, is like, then it brings out another conversation, right?
Yeah. So, and then that's my point. Then me and this person sat down, hashed it out in a debate, not in a shouting match, I heard him, he heard me. And then we reached a nice understanding. There is no wrong or right there. There's just hearing each other. And
I think that's what I always admire about you, is that, like there's a few people I know that you have a relationship with that, like it's like chalk and cheese, sometimes
that's like me and Jen McGeechee. I love that woman, but we piss each other off all the time.
Exactly. But, and I think that's just an amazing thing, to have a relationship with someone you can just sort of, you can have banter with, you can be like, love each other one minute, piss each other off the next, but then have a conversation about it. And I think that's what it's about, isn't it? So
if the world was full of people that agree with everything I said, I wouldn't want to be here. I love diversity. I love to hear something that is off. That's the shit. And keeping up the theme, certain talented singer really likes this one. Okay. She's been here, done a super stream, Miss Whitelock.
Yes, she has indeed.
And so
wrong one.
Yeah, she told me that she really liked this one. And it always surprises me who likes what, because obviously my mind forms prejudice and judgments on people, and I love being surprised when people tell me stuff. So it's and I ain't done this one in a while, so bear with the mistakes that might occur. So roll up, listen, listen, listen. Whilst I was out mooching on the missed out mission and trying to make up for a life of misgivings and really trying to appreciate this daily gift I keep getting given, a steep amount of bullshit has been detected. Media has swamped the masses, and there's some strong smelling shit oozing from the gases. Because apparently now you can't say this or that without some sensitive little flower getting offended. Well, I say good. Be offended. I'm offended regularly. It's tasty air to breathe, character building and revealing opportunities. I mean, take a moment to imagine, if you will, this fight sin spill, the overkill from their over-swallowed and taken sensitivity pills, where we live in a world where no one's feelings are ever tampered with, where we all nod and agree and coexist in some sort of cancel culture, utopian society's bliss, where we never disagree, debate or argue or fall out, not one little bit. Sounds absolutely hellish, doesn't it, Matt? Now, I don't know or think I've got this misread, but that sounds an awful lot like walking around living dead. Plus, we're living in the I'm age, where image made others second rate. So it's no wonder we can't handle a debate. We were too busy throwing out rage that was exposing the fear to the gateway that we'd wrapped up in insane, because the I'm age had us forget about us. We got lost in a fog of forget-me-nots that tied us in knots that crossed us and lost us. So please, this comes highly recommended. Just be fucking offended. Just process it all up inside its growth in this rocky road of life. After all, what's more important? Being happy or being right? That's the offended rhyme.
Love that one, Pete. That's great.
It's a
shame you can't remember the Ed Sheeran one. But,
I know the line that you like.
Yeah.
I remember the line you like, that and Ed Sheeran, I don't believe you when you sing. It's not a ginger thing. It's just that I call bullshit thing.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's the only line I can remember. I need to review and remember.
But the whole poem was good. It was really good. It's one of the ones that stood out. So remember it.
I will, because I will dig it out and I will remember it this week. You'll give me something to do.
Okay, do you want to give us one more before we convene with the rest of the night?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if
And you're going to do one more at the very end for us as well. So just bear that in mind.
Okay, all right. Okay, now this is for all my people that are tuned in from Slough or whatever ends you find yourself from. Because if you are, you know that the nickname for these places is the ends. So this is the ends, my loneliest friend, the ends. This is the ends where I found the most beautiful friends, the ends. So let me tell you about the ends, where a wheelie bin and a high-vis vest is a burglar's best friend, and where being different is an offense, so we hop a fence to shot yellow gems, and where young boys and girls fall prey to dealers who preach belief in rented eye pleasers, but addicted estates don't shed light on this case, in case they get displaced and disgraced because fear rules this place. The ends are tied in knots of how not to succeed. The seeds of disunity are sown in fake communities because there's no communication between those who see, speak, and hear truthfully. This is the road, you see. And trust me, there's still a fiend alive and well inside me. I just learned how he breathes. Learn to shine a light on and accept those darker side of my tendencies. Never lose the street, for it shows a world that is unique and yet the same in any pocket of the Earth's boutique. Where you get women and men on the game and the needle exchanges, chemical shame-bound chains won't let them be free again. Desperately seeking a high to get by and deny that internal cry of why. And where manna chat crap until front gets some clap, slap, stabbed, or if they're lucky enough, the cell door bangs. And then they're left wondering, just where is my trustworthy gang? And where babies are payments for council flats in the DSS kids having kids trap. Is it called the ends because the beginning is the end? I ask you, Matt, is it called the ends because the beginning is the end? Well, a few of us have proved that you can ascend and transcend this message that they send. You don't have to aim low. You already broke your backs putting on fake fronts for the fear of not fitting in show. So it's time to let go. Self-reflection, progression, and protection are our ultimate weapons. So let's turn these ends into beginnings. Because this is the ends, my loneliest friend. The ends. This is the ends where I found the most beautiful friends. The ends.
Woo! Pete Cox, everybody.
That felt good.
That sounded good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think you did an amazing job at delivering every single one of them poems. You sound more relaxed than sometimes you do when you're in a live space. So
yeah,
maybe it's me.
I feel relaxed. Like, yeah. Maybe it was the wonderful food Eleanor cooked for us.
That's true. That was pretty special, wasn't it?
Honestly, God damn it, Eleanor. That was yeah. You made me buy a food processor today. I bought a food processor after watching you make them dips. That's inspiring food.
Inspiring food. You want to make some of that hummus?
I'm going to make some hummus.
Hummus and guacamole.
Hummus and guaca.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and how are we doing with everything, Matt?
Everything's great. I mean, you got some amazing comments, mate. We haven't been through much of them, but yeah, so many people are just so into you right now. You know, it's them legs, I think. Should we show you the legs again?
You want to have a quick look?
Yeah. Oh,
look at this. Do you want a bit of ankle? Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that tan. Look at that chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Hey.
Brilliant, man.
Takes effort, that.
It does indeed. Yeah. I'm going to read out some of these comments, man. Just you got excellent, mate. Nice work, Pete. Matt, I like the aesthetics of the Apple screen on the stream. I kind of think I know what he means. Preach it, Pete. Lots of hand claps. Really miss both of your nights. It's great to have it online. So I think we need to do this in real life when we're back in the real world. We did try and do an Innerverse and using words crossover, but we never happened.
Do it real life. It's time.
Yeah. And yeah, so I think just so many nice comments.
Well, I love and appreciate each and every one of you taking time to listen to me and the other artists and Matt. You know, it means so much.
Yeah. So and you're going to give us one more at the end as well. So stick around, guys. We've currently got 23 plus. We have 25 as our peak occurrence.
We're peaking, man.
Yeah. So
peaking.
Who's on next, Pete?
Oh, I am excited for you all. Your ears are all about to get blessed. I'm telling you now. Up next, this man I met at Radio Wickham. Yeah. And I told him he'll explain. I'll stop talking. I've talked enough. Please show massive love because honestly, you are about to feel. You're going to feel. So give it up for Rick Warren. Lyric. Is Rick there, Matt?
Let's see if he's here.
Let's see if he's here. This is one beautiful man. I'm excited. I feel like Ray Charles. You know, he nods his head as he sings. I got a woman.
He's joining. I mean,
way over town.
There's always a slight delay, isn't there? For
Yeah.
the, thing, but I can hear him.
You
There
hear
you
the
go.
breathing.
Yeah.
I hear you, Rick.
Okay. Let's get you both up.
And
there.
now I see your beautiful face.
Oh, well, that's a lie. But, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, my friend.
Well, that's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one. You can get it out with Optrex.
So, Rick, you know I met you and in Radio Wickham.
I'll turn the light on, then you can actually see
I
what
can
he's,
see. I can see.
why he's lying.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I met you at Wickham Sound. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Wickham Sound. Yeah. And
that was it. Yeah, we just started a little writers club, and you came along and you gave us some poetry, and we just went, wow. And I said, where do you do this? And you said, a place called Innerverse, which I run. And we went, we'll all come down. Well, two of us did.
yeah, and you come every time and you deliver us with the most beautiful. I was instantly drawn to you. You just have that wonderful vibe of understanding, you know, like, you know, you get that vibe of I'm going to get on with this person, you know, and I had that.
Oh,
with
good
you.
man.
Yeah, I had that with you. So
Thank you. Well, so when you're talking about inspiring stuff, you certainly inspired me to actually start doing something with poetry, which, you know, everyone sort of has a dabble at some point and then leaves it. But it really has helped me really get to a much better place with my life. So thank you. for that.
Listen, mate, I thank you. If you're in my life, then you are the ones that need to be thanked. And
you're a good man.
And so the question for you, Rick, is who or what inspires you?
Basically, the thing that I found that's inspired me most, which was a surprise to me, was the River Thames.
Oh.
And just when I go out and want to do any writing, or if I have any blocks, or if I feel bad, if I go and walk by the river, everything seems to get better, which is an amazing thing to have found. So really, it is nature. It's walking. It's getting out there and just being on your own sometimes, but it's nice to do it with friends as well.
Yeah.
But if it's about people, then it really goes back to the parents again. My parents are still, okay, I lost them 20 years ago, but they're still with me. And all the things they instilled back then, they still hold true today, and I still think of them all the time. So they're really a big inspiration for me.
Oh, I feel that, man. My dad has been gone many years, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have this poetry. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's a long, deep story, that one, but it's one I'll explain one day, but I'll tell you as well. But yeah, I wouldn't have this, what I have.
Oh man. Well, they're just so important in your lives. And again, if they're there, if they're not there, you know, it's the things they've always brought to you, the things they gave you, they stay with you. And they certainly have with me. And
well, wherever they did, turned into this beautifulness. So please, I know I'm a charmer. I've been told.
You're a terror.
Yeah,
You're a terror, but
I'm a terror.
we love you for it.
Mean it. I mean it. Yeah, that's the thing, right?
We do love you for it, mate.
I love you too. And so, so you, Rick. Honestly, I've talked so much, and I just really want people to experience you and your words. So please. And please ask Rick a question if you want to, or anything. Please give love now for Rick Warren.
Thank you very much, Pete. Cheers. Well, talking about my parents, I'm going to start you off with a poem which I first did at the Innerverse when I first went in May a few years ago. And this one's called Culver Keys, and that's the name of our old family home. So I'm going to do that one for you now. He said, hopefully. Culver Keys. There is a house in a town called Gerrard's Cross where love was found and insecurities lost. It was the greatest house in all the world, where my parents raised 3 boys, 2 girls, and I had fun. And I had security, and I got fed and went through puberty and lost my innocence to a girl from GX. I was 15 years old and desperate for sex, as young men are. Usually this plays out in the back of a car, but I was lucky enough to be blessed with parents who took their rest in the kitchen. The front room was our room to play in and sit in, and one Saturday afternoon, all too brief and all too soon, I was taken on a trip to the moon, and my life changed. Love was forever. Or not, so it seems. My teenage dreams were just that, dreams, so I went on a journey seeking the comfort of others. Convent girls and barmaids, friends of friends, became lovers, and on a couple of memorable occasions, their mothers. I was chasing too hard just to feel alive, but why? Well, time passed by and my siblings departed to homes of their own, getting families started, and as for me, I stayed where I knew I was safe, with my mother and father and my young man dreams, surrounded by fabulous friends and familiar scenes, the pub, the wine bar, and the cinema, which only had one screen. Now, Culver Keys was my castle, my sanctum sanctorum, the go-to destination where friends laughed, loved and cried, where we met on the day Freddie Mercury died. So many parties and late nights, music and fun, high days and holidays rolled into one. Sex, drugs and rock and roll, my whole life was here. This house was the world to me, where everything was possible and nothing was denied, where I would stay forever, safe and warm and satisfied, where food was the bandage that healed all wounds, broken hearts soothed with treacle tarts. Dinner always at the table. Eating together kept things stable for me and my mum and my dad. Now I realise now, one thing was strange. There were just the three of us, yet the portions never changed. My mum cooked for 7, even when the other 4 had left. Her love was in every morsel, and leaving something on your plate was to question her love. So you ate. I mean, you ate everything, and then you ate more, and doing so wasn't a chore. She was a great cook. Roasts and stews, biscuits and cakes, a pleasure to eat everything that she makes. But boy, I got big. And then I got bigger. I was set on a path where food is love and love is food. Love is good and good is where I want to be. So now, when I need to change my ways, turn that fat into fit, turn misery to joy, I must take that return journey back to the boy, back to when I was free, back to the love, security and simplicity of Culver Keys. Thank you.
Come on. Come on. For fuck's sake, Rick, you put me right back at my granddad's in Windsor and the meals that were made for like a king's army, the love that my mum would install in that meal with my nan. And
it's just one of those things. I mean, for me, they were such a big part of my growing up, and I stayed there far too long. They had to move house to get me to get out. No, literally, they did. I was there back in those days. 30 was old to be in a house, and they literally moved.
I can see why you wanted to stay.
I did. It was fabulous. But there you go. Right, let me just try another one. Okay, I'm going to try a new one.
Yeah. Oh well. How's Rick getting on in those comments? I can see there's some love for you there, Rick.
Yeah,
good.
Lots of hand
That's
claps.
very
And
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many words yet, but definitely loads
That's
of claps.
okay.
So
That's okay. No, it's just nice to be here and being able to be just part of all this. This is great.
Well, you stand out when you perform to me.
Actually, that's a lie. A word just popped up just then. It says, "Oh my God, amazing, Rick! A true pleasure to hear." So there we go. So,
yeah, honestly,
I'll take that one every day of the week.
Take it.
This one,
take it.
This one, after following on from Pete, I always tend to think I should be writing something a little more esoteric, something with a bit of something to it, a bit edgy. And then I try and do it, and it never quite works. This one was the nearest. This is the nearest one I got to it. So give us a try and see how we go.
Yeah, come on, Rick, give us it.
I will if I can get this start again. So welcome one and all to this state of insecure security, challenging times mixed with spiritual purity, fusing earthbound confusion with illusions of happy day highlights and nights of terrifying lows. Below the surface, scratching deep into a psyche, me no likey what I find. unbalanced by whispers unkind, past life redemption, a distension of reality, remembered indiscretions and youthful depravity. Where is my sanity? It sits in its fragile shell, knowing far too well what is at stake. How easy it is to break on statements falsely spoken, lives torn, twisted and broken. Words can be weapons, but soothe like medicine, wounds healed over with love and compassion. For we are tripping, sipping on trendy addictions, fashionista, barista, caffeine cup cure-alls of modern life woes, going in through the outdoor, wiping feet on a clean floor, making sense of the senseless, an end to the endless suffering of sanctimonious fools. Pools of tears form on melamine countertops. Drops of derision seep with precision into cracks formed on porcelain skin. Within seconds, reckoned against our passage through time, we slide, taking refuge in the refuse we meet on reality's flip side. Dangerous times await us all, living adventures no less scary for the unwary tread upon the promises of tomorrow. Thank you.
Matt, come on, Matt. Matt, come on.
God, they'd ask me what that was about.
That I understood every word of that.
Good.
I like the reverse of words, the wordplay you put into that, and I love your rhyming schemes. Like, when people say that to me, there's no scheme. I just write. Do you know what I mean? But I get what they mean when they say it. And you have a natural rhyming ability that I find so beautiful and very like attracts me to hear. I connect when you speak. Do you know
Thanks,
what I mean?
man.
Yeah, that was stunning.
I appreciate that, because it was a tricky one to do, but hey.
I think it's almost meditative, like your voice. I think, really sort of zone out, but hear all the words. It's Have you ever thought about doing meditation tapes or something, like, you know?
I've been listening to it a load, and I've been listening to a lot recently. A friend got me into it, and I went, "No, this is going to be rubbish," and it was wow, and it was amazing. Yeah. So I do listen to a lot of those now, and I might give it a go. This one I've done mainly because it's so clever. I just impressed myself with this one.
I love that feeling. I know that feeling. Yeah.
This one, and you go, I really want everyone to love it, and I've shown it to a lot of people. They've gone, "Yup," and I've gone, "Why don't you get it?"
Why don't you see that line, that killer line I put in there? No, I know it well.
No, this is my mirror poem. So this is the one I wrote, which basically it's a question of perspective. So looking at something from two sides, and I wanted to get a poem which could actually be read two ways. So you can read it.
This is genius. This is genius. Matt, have you heard this?
Don't build it up.
Never heard this.
No, I don't need it. Listen, this deserves a build up. This is genius. This reads one way and then the other.
Yeah. So basically you read it the first way and it's called mirror, and you read it the backwards and it's called reflection. So you read it top to bottom, and then you read it bottom to top, and it has two different states of mind, which I feel a lot of the time things can just flip you from being very down to being totally okay and very fine with the world. So this is what this poem was about. And as I say, I'm going to read it the first way, which is a little depressing, and then we're going to have the other one. So
I love this. I know I've had the pleasure of hearing this. You are all in for a treat.
Thanks, Matt. This is called Mirror. I am worthless. You will never make me believe my life has meaning. For when time and tide turn, my existence holds no purpose. There is no point in saying my light will shine when darkness comes. For day after day, I live knowing that I am unvalued and unloved. No words will ever make me feel I am blessed and worthy of more. For those who really know me see that my heart is filled only with bitterness and pain. Never will I believe in a world where love surrounds and fills my soul. If my life is measured in joy, not in power or status, am I worth any less? So that was me being a bit depressed. But if you read the poem from bottom to top, you get my other days. Am I worth any less? if my life is measured in joy, not in power or status? Love surrounds and fills my soul. Never will I believe in a world where my heart is filled only with bitterness and pain. For those who really know me see that I am blessed and worthy of more. No words will ever make me feel I am unvalued and unloved. For day after day I live knowing that my light will shine when darkness comes. There is no point in saying my existence holds no purpose, for when time and tide turn, my life has meaning. You will never make me believe that I am worthless. Thank you.
Come on.
Wow. Wow.
Do you know what that takes to do? To write
It took about 4 months.
Yeah, to write it perfectly, to be able to be read one way and then the other.
That was absolutely epic. Seriously. That's
Thank you, Matt.
That is
incredible.
I remember when you first read that and I went, I'm going to do this. I still haven't done it. Yeah, and because it is so inspiring that, honestly, Rick.
I was trying to do one of like for Black Lives Matter, to do one that read both ways. So one's racist, one's anti-racist, but I really have got the struggle with that. So
cool. Yeah.
It would if I can make it, but it's a bit tough. Sorry, Matt, what were you saying?
I was just saying, I think that would be quite epic to sort of top that, what you just done. I just think that was just so good. It's so clever.
Thanks, man.
The craftsmanship of words there is honestly, I mean, I fully appreciate what you've done there because it blows my mind. Like,
thank you.
And I know you're getting a lot of love for what you're doing right now.
You are. You got a few comments. So this is so clever. Oh, so good. Thanks for sharing. Perfect. Well done. Whoa, brilliant words. How inspiring. So yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Oh.
Right. I think we'll do one to cheer myself up after that one. So we'll just do lottery because I like the lottery one.
Yay.
It's very short. So this is lottery. Each Saturday night I sit by the telly, sweat on my brow, brain turned to jelly, waiting for someone to give me a sign. Come on, number 49. Well, 5 in a row. I mean, they dropped so quick. My heart stopped twice. I'm starting to feel sick. Why is it taking so long to fall? That rotten little plastic ball. Well, time stands still. The ball descends down the tube and around the bends, coming to rest at the end of the line. Oh, yes, it's 49. I'm onto the phone to claim my prize. Pound signs dance before my eyes. How much have I won? Book my flight to the beach. There's 4 million winners. That's £2 each.
Rick, man. Honestly,
just being silly. That was my silly. I do like that one.
I love. Never take yourself too seriously. I got told because no one else does.
No, it's very true.
I got told
very
that,
true.
and it's so true. And, I love that. I love being silly in words. I love being morbidly serious and dark. You know, you got to have all the aspects, man. I love the duality, the as above, so below of your last rhyme. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, very, very, very clever.
Have we got time for another one or two?
Yeah, you got time for one, man.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just leave you another one, which was one I thought was a bit more topical for me, which was it was just called "What do you do in the pandemic, Grandad?" So this was one I wrote for hopefully down the tracks when we're looking back at all this craziness, and we can say, what was all that about? Well, this is my interpretation. So this is, what did you do in the pandemic, Grandad? One day we will look back and our grandchildren will say, what did you do, Grandad, to make the virus go away? Well, we'll sit them down and in reverent tones we'll speak of our incarceration when toilet paper became currency and panic gripped the nation. We will speak of all the hardship and of our deprivation. God, the lack of pasta alone nearly ended in starvation. There was no restaurants, pubs or cinemas, no golf and no football, which is just as well for Arsenal, who were not playing well at all. Well, we watched TV and we tidied our homes and we washed our hands right down to the bone. We landscaped our gardens, did our shopping online, and we all learnt how to conference call. Well, that helped to pass the time. Some took up baking and making their own gin. The most important thing that got us through was all of us stayed in, except for Dominic Cummings. Except for those too selfish or too stupid to realise every unnecessary journey was a chance that someone died. So books were read, box sets streamed, conspiracy theories abounded. Celebrities with no scientific knowledge at all expounded on the unfounded. Well, Boris got sick, went to intensive care. And with the cuts, he was lucky that they had a bed to spare. The staff, who were working without proper PPE, well, they saved our new Prime Minister and the likes of you and me. So now you know of the hardships we faced. Eventually vaccines were created and Trump got replaced, hopefully. So now your world is a far better place. You're welcome. Now go wash your hands.
Oh, there's too much in that, man. Don't you think though? Do you remember the empty shelves? That seems like a lifetime ago, didn't it? When everyone needed a big shit and bought all the toilet roll. What was that all about?
It was just unreal. I mean, I can't believe some of the things that we've had to.
I love seeing the true nature of people get exposed. This is beautiful. And I love what you said about celebrities suddenly telling us how to live our lives. You know,
I'm sorry, 5G spreads virus. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay,
I know.
I believe you. Okay. But anyway, we won't get into that because that's politics, and we'll try and avoid that as much as possible. Yes, I mean, really, it's more a question for me of getting through this period of time, being able to look back in hopefully 10 years time and go, wow, we survived all that. We got through it all and look where we are now.
Yeah,
because I do think there's a positive outcome of all this once we've gone through it all. If we can stick together and actually be a little kinder and a little nicer about things, then we will come out with something positive from it. If we let it slip back to the way it was, then we've missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Wise words, definitely.
That's
very wise.
Just my thinking, but then I haven't had a drink yet, so.
Oh, well, yeah, no, honestly,
then it gets
Rick,
worse.
Absolutely. I just love seeing you and hearing you. You have an aura that just lights up a room, man. So it's.
Thank you, my friend.
And I know you're getting loads of love, isn't he, Matt?
Oh yeah, totally. Just
it's
some laughs, some cool. That was great, Rick. Genius. You know, the fact you can cover all the spectrums from genius to extremely funny is just amazing. So,
yeah.
I just like the fact that on here you can be whoever you want to be or whoever you actually are, and it's not a question of just putting stuff on for someone, because it is you just opening up and being yourself. But you can do that because of the environment that's been created by you guys. So with Music and Words and with Innerverse, like you say, Pete, the more of these sort of venues that we have to be able to go and do these things, the better.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely to be involved. So thank you very much for the invite.
Oh, thank you, Rick. Absolute pleasure, as always.
And likewise, when we're back in the Hope, you'll have to come down and perform for us.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to. Love to. Thanks,
Great.
guys.
Thank you, Rick.
Cheers.
Thank you, Rick.
Bye
Thank
now.
you, Rick. Oh,
Thanks,
wow.
guys.
And that was the Mr. Beautiful Rick Warren, everyone. And I know you're showing him plenty of love. And just as you're showing me and Matt, and we appreciate each and every one of you, don't we, Matt? I'm speaking for you, but you have your own voice. We do
You
appreciate
can speak for me if you want, mate. I'm tired now, so you can take over more. So
yeah,
it's all
those
good.
beers kicking in.
Yeah, the coffee's worn off and the beer started to kick in now. So
Yeah. Nice. I love that Rick was talking about the Thames, and I spent most of the morning in it.
You did, yeah.
That paddle boarding.
I'm trying to count how many times you actually ended up in the Thames. It was at least 6, wasn't it? So
At least. My balance game is out. Give me a mountain to climb. I'm great. Just put me on water. I'm all over the place. But
we'll get you back again though. So we'll have you paddleboarding all the way down the Thames to Go. So that's the
yeah. At the moment, it's a no-go. But it will be a go-go. But that was Rick. And up next, we have a bit more of a sing-song, don't we?
Great. It's Karen. Yeah.
We have the wonderful Karen McCabe.
Okay, let's get her in the chat.
This is the technical gap, isn't it, Matt?
It is.
That nice little pausing space.
Hello.
Oh, I think we're.
I heard a hello.
Yeah, we got a hello. Yeah.
Hello, Karen.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm here. You're here. That's wonderful.
Uh-huh.
How are you doing?
Yeah, we're okay. Me and my special guest, who I'm going to introduce in a minute. Giving
We
it
have
away.
special guests. This is getting better by the second. And Karen, so as like I have asked everyone else, who or what inspires you?
Right. Well, I think a lot of people have said the same things as me, really. In terms of sort of, well, musically, obviously, I've been brought up around loads of music lovers and musicians. Mum and dad, they weren't musicians as such, but they're real music lovers. We always have music on. They love going to gigs. My brother and sister are mega talented musicians and songwriters. In fact, they should be here, really, not me. So loads of inspiration, you know, on that side of things. In fact, I started coming to Music and Words. I was trying to get my brother and sister to put their songs forward, and now I've ended up doing it because I got so inspired by all you guys at Music and Words and Innerverse, and people putting their art out there, and that's really inspired me. But in general, and it's pretty much in agreement with what everyone said, but it's life. Life inspires me. It's never ceases to amaze me, the good and the not so good. The not so good stuff sort of, makes you step back and think, what's the lesson in this? Where is this? What better thing is this leading us to, And also, like, not just my own life, but other people's lives. I love hearing about other people's lives so much. Honestly, people to the point of being intrusive and nosy, that people's, everyone that has gone through an epic struggle, more than one, and overcome it. And just hearing about that's amazing. We're all walking around with these seemingly sort of mundane lives, but we're all walking movies, really, aren't we? If you actually
walking movies. You're a poet, Karen.
I'm rambling because I'm nervous. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, well, I love that nervous energy. I love it.
We've been filming us, haven't we? So yeah, that's what I'm inspired by.
Yeah, and I like what you said. The similarities in what everyone's answered is the reason I asked the question.
Yeah, but I've become like, the modern equivalent of a pen friend with an older lady down the road. We sort of emailing each other just after chatting on the street. And just her life story is absolutely amazing. It's phenomenal what she's been through and what she's experienced and what she's achieved. You never guess it just looking at this lady on the street, but look forward to her emails now, that sort of thing. Just, people are inspiring.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. So you are going to sing us some songs.
I am, yeah.
Hey.
So I'll do the first one. I've done this one at Innerverse, but I've not done it at Music and Words before. And this one's called Faces in the Window.
I know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hand over to you because my mic seems to be cutting out a bit, doesn't it? Like with the fading. Is it, or is it just in my ears?
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Is my sound all right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so everyone give it up, ladies and gentle friends, for the wonderful Karen McCabe.
Okay. Thank you. What do you expect to see in a chemical reality? You rented a life from somebody unknown, and nobody knows who it may be. So faces in the window, but what side are you on? Are the faces in the window that's already gone? Faces in the window, what side are they on? Lined up in the traffic, lights no longer on. What do you expect to see in a chemical reality? You're drowning your light on a path that's not right, and you never know who you may be. So your face is in the window. chemical reality.
Chemical reality. I know it well. Really relatable lyrics. Beautiful song, Karen.
Yeah, lots of people can. We do lots of things to dumb ourselves down and ignore things, don't we? So.
Oh, it's a profession.
Yeah, I think lots of us have been there. So I'll do this next one. Like with the sort of time we're in, obviously very unsettling, very uncertain. People need a nice uplifting song, I think. People need their spirits lifted. They need their anxiety eased. So, well, I'm really, really sorry, but this is not one of those songs at all. It's a song called The Silence of 4 a.m.
I thought you were selling out then. I thought you were selling out.
No, not at all. This is what I came up with to help. This is called The Silence of 4 a.m. and it's about those dark thoughts that wake you up in the early hours, you know. And again, we can all relate. There's a positive bit at the end. And I've got a special guest to introduce to help me with the harmonies. It's my beautiful sister, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah. Give it up for Sarah, everyone.
Hi. Sarah's a beautiful singer. Sarah's a songwriter, really talented songwriter as well. So she's helped me with some harmonies. I tried singing two things at once and I couldn't. So. Oh,
that's excellent. That's excellent. So, so Karen, Sarah don't get away with it either. Sarah.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
What's that?
Sarah. Now, who or what inspires you?
Oh goodness, put on the spot. Well, my sister very much summed it up herself, really. But it's life, isn't it? Basically, everyone has a story inside them, and it's kind of just having that outlet to kind of get that across. And it's kind of a bit like cathartic, isn't it? Kind of a bit of self-therapy and self-love, and then hopefully if it helps someone else as well in the process, then that's an added bonus. But yeah, sorry, I'd have something much more thoughtful and profound to say, but
yeah, that was a beautiful enough. That was wonderful enough. Thank you for answering. You didn't have to at all. I just put you on the spot. So I'll shut up again, and you two are going to sing for us.
As I said, I spoke enough for both of us anyway. I didn't know when to shut up. But I needed one of those hooks, that in the old days when they hook you off the stage. That's what I need. I'm doing it again. Right then. Okay. So this is Silence of 4 a.m. The silence of 4 a.m. loud enough to wake you. The elephant in the room bellows loud at this time. Taps you on the shoulder and demands your attention. Attention that you just don't want to give. When you feel the grief that is eating your soul on the quiet. When you know you're down, that you tell everyone you're alright. You can't bury your head in the silence of 4 a.m. The silence of 4 a.m. loud enough to wake you. That discord that can't be ignored, but you'll try. When it steals your sleep every night of the week, it's not fair. When you're on the floor but pretend you enjoy being there. When you realize it's every decision you've made, can't you hear by day you're achieving, and happy at night you're in tears. No denying yourself in the silence of 4 a.m. Will you steal my sleep any nights of the week? Is it me or you? The heart sees one thing, but the eyes another. Such beautiful confusion. I'm observing all this, watching and learning. Try not to drown in the acting and burning, as I would have done before I knew what I know now. Making sense of it all in the silence of 4 a.m. The silence of 4 a.m. Hear a voice. The silence of 4 a.m. Find your memory. The silence of 4 a.m. It's almost the morning. Please reminding nowhere. Look forward today. It's not dark everywhere, so I linger here. In the silence of 4 a.m.
Yeah. Come on. That was a haunting piano. And the silence. I know that silence. It's not silent. It's not silent. And you sum that up. So I love the way you sum that up. And you're getting a lot of love. Isn't that right?
A hell of a lot of love. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, great words, great emotion. Great to hear you sing so beautifully together. Wow, so relatable, wonderful. So yeah, just amazing. So
that's nice. Thanks everybody. Thank you.
And I believe this is your first all original set on the Music and Words. I know you've done like 1 or 2 songs, and this is your first full performance, isn't it? So
yeah, I've never performed apart from I did one song that I co-wrote with Richard Tyner. I did that one, but I've never performed my own songs live. No, apart from that one. So hands are shaking a bit.
You're doing great, so keep it up. So.
Yeah, you got to love it, Matt, because Karen said you just said, Karen, that you came along to watch and support others, and now you're doing this, your stuff, your work. That's just to me, that's just amazing to see. That's just I love that.
I'm just so inspired by it all. So thank you for providing those platforms, you know, Pete and Matt, both of you, and to everyone that's put their art out there, because it's pulling the rest of us out of our shells, you know. It's good.
Come out of the shells. It ain't that scary.
No, and thanks for just being a part of it, and you know, you guys are all like these platforms, you know. It's not about us two. It's
no, we're just conduits, Matt.
So
don't be so humble.
Oh, don't worry, I'm full of ego inside. I just have to watch the flares on it.
So I'll do another one. Now this one actually is hopefully a soothing and uplifting song. It's one I wrote. I actually wrote this years ago. About 4 years ago, I had an epic. I won't go into too much detail. I had a bit of an epic battle with fear and anxiety, and I wrote this song actually just as like a bit of a self-soother for myself. And I had no intention of playing this to anybody because I thought it's so corny. There is no way I'd want anyone to hear this. But again, I think now's the time. There's been such rapid change. People are very anxious. So I thought, well, I will put it out there. It's just about sort of staying present. You know, it's very easy to start catastrophizing about where, you know, the future and this, that, and the other. It's just a reminder to look around you and stay calm, stay focused, really. So this one's called Now.
Lovely.
And yeah, like I said, I was nervous about playing this because I just thought, oh, it's so cheesy. But, you know, if it helps calm other people down, that's, you know, right. So here we go. Future's not here. You've wrapped it in fear. The past disappear. Let it go. Why shed a tear? Give us one. See blue past the gray. Scent of the day. Birds singing breeze. Skin on his face. Peace in your reach, feel the sand on the beach. Nothing's wrong now, you can walk strong. Future's not here, yet you've wrapped it in fear. The past disappeared. Give us why shed a tear. Blue past the gray, scent of the day. Birds singing grains, the skin on his face. Peace in your reach, feel the sand on the beach. Nothing's wrong now, you can walk strong.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, and you know, you're getting. I'm going to read you some stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on.
Okay. Ah, thoughtful and profound sisters. Wow, relatable, wonderful.
Yeah.
This is great. Great words, great emotion. Great to hear you singing so beautifully together. So unbelievably beautiful and emotive on every level. The Everly brothers have nothing on the MCCABE sisters.
Who wrote that? Who wrote that one?
The Carlos Collective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got
Carl Harrison's a very talented songwriter as well. He needs to be on here.
Yeah. Well, this is the man to contact is sat over there.
Yeah.
That's the man. And he's always welcome at my nights, Mr. Carlos Collective, which has to be more than one Mr. if it's a collective, right? Or it doesn't have to be. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But and you've got woohoos. I love a good woohoo and a woy and a oi. And you've got I love the silence of 4 a.m. Such talented sisters. Great night, guy. Oh yeah, you just and you've been it's like a long lost Brian Wilson classic. Check that shit out, eh?
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Have I got time to do one more or not really?
What we saying, Matt? Yeah. You just got the thumbs.
Okay, right. Well, I think, Pete, you've heard this one. I did it on Innerverse. And one of the little hobbies I've taken up in lockdown was trying to teach myself guitar again.
I remember you shredded your fingers, right?
Oh my God. Well, the thing is with guitar, I love guitar and I love guitar music, but guitar doesn't love me. I've always been rubbish at playing the guitar and I still am. This song I just really wanted a guitar sound for. So I'm a bit nervous. Like there's loads of guitar players watching and obviously Matt and everything. So please just don't judge me.
Let me tell you,
it's not-
Karen, let me tell you, they're all going to judge you and it don't matter. None of it matters. Just play your guitar.
It's not about the guitar, okay? It's the song. But this one's called Look Up, and it's about our situation. There's a few little messages in this, but the main one is keep your chin up, look up, you know. And also, though, physically, look up from those smartphones. Look up away from all that news and that media. Look up and around you with your own, look with your eyes and ears and intuition. Look out for each other. It's that kind of, there's all sorts in there. But
Preach it, sister, preach it.
I'll let you take what you will. And like I said, try to ignore the guitar. Right, okay. Summer duvet time, estivation, re-navigation, hanging in an agonizingly sweet limbo, locked down but free as a bird, just fairy lights and fantasies for company. And daily dances with strangers, aroused by the fitful that brings in the trees, disagrees with what seasons us now. And Venus's gaze seems abnormally bright somehow. Always something bigger going on. Oh, I've lost it. Lie under your summer duvet and look up. Just look up, just look up. Lie under your summer duvet and look up. Summer duvet time, slumbering under or wakefully watching the scene. The lines between the lovers and the haters become blurred. A disconnect with what is seen and what is heard. Blackbirds in the chimney remind that people been here. Don't share my view, you can't come here. Divided up and sick with fear. The breeze in the trees disagrees with what seasons us now. Throw up your summer duvet and look up. Just look up. Just look up. Throw up your summer duvet and look up. Just look up. Just look up. Throw up your summer duvet and look up.
Yeah, Karen. I love the way you pushed through that. You know what I mean? That was really good.
The more I practice, the worse I get on this thing. My sister plays guitar, but I wanted the challenge of doing it myself.
Oh, I love the little shh. Did you hear that shh, Matt? It wasn't that shh, was it? We all heard it, Sarah. You ain't getting away with that. We all heard it here. That means you're going to be playing guitar for us one day soon, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
It does indeed.
That's what it means. Yeah, that shush. You just give yourself away with that shush. You want to learn to shush up your shush game. But yeah, Karen, thank you so much, and thank you, Sarah,
Thank you.
for that.
Thanks so much for having us. Thank you.
Superb. Thank you so much, guys.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank
Thanks,
you. Bye bye. Oh, ladies and gentle friends, this is becoming quite a wondrous evening. And if you're enjoying what you're hearing, please donate to the PayPal account, because it literally is just to keep things like this going. I know it's hard times. I know your pockets are strained. I know all those things. We're not asking you to give what you haven't got. We're asking you to share what you can. And that's all really matters, isn't it? That's all we're asking.
That is exactly it, really.
That's
so
it.
you know,
there's no bouncers. There's none of that, is there, Matt? It's just generosity. If you got it, like when you come to Matt tonight, he has a generosity box, don't you, Matt?
I do indeed. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's completely up to
completely up to you.
If you can't afford it, I don't mind. You know, if you can, then put in. Simple as that.
Love that. And the link is all in the comments for you there.
I'll post it up again just in case.
We'll post it up again. And now, Matt, how are you feeling, Matt? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good, yeah. I feel like I can do another paddleboarding again if you like. So
okay, you paddleboard and I professionally fall into what I think I did a proper belly flop, followed with the bogey snots straight afterwards, didn't I? You can't look this cool in the water, can I, Matt? It's only here I'm pulling that off.
You know, I'll try and get a photo up so people can see your paddleboarding.
I will really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Hey, that would be cool. You did. Should I introduce the next person?
Yeah, please do. Please do. So,
okay. For your ears and viewing pleasure, I give to you Mr. James. Hopefully we can see him. Mr. James Linton.
Let's admit him in a second.
Let's admit him. And for Ginny Richards, here comes the technical gap. She finds that funny. Me and her talk about technology way too much. And there it is, Ginny. Feel the gap? Got it?
Okay, I think we're in.
We're in.
Yeah. Let's just get you guys on a split screen. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, James.
Hello there.
I'll see you.
Yeah, I'm on my phone now.
We couldn't see you earlier. James had that technical problem too.
Yeah, I think my webcam's broken.
Oh, it's okay. You seem to be good now. Has it sounded good your end, Matt?
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe a bit closer might be.
If you
helpful.
can get a bit closer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right on the bottom of the screen. Can you tilt it? Oh, this is the fun and games we have. Let us into your room, James. Show us stuff.
I'm just going to hold it then.
Oh, you all right with that, yeah?
Yeah.
See, never underestimate a poet.
That's great, yeah.
Never underestimate a poet. So, James, as well as testing out your arm strength holding a phone, yeah, I am going to ask you, who or what influences you?
Actually, a few years ago, I was at this lecture by this crime author I really like, Mark Millan. And he was at an event with Alice Sebold, who wrote The Lovely Bones. And someone asked her this question, and she replied, "Oh, I get my ideas. They float down to me on the tip of my muse, floating on a cloud." And Mark just sort of looked at her like, "What are you talking about? I get my ideas from real life." It was like, oh, I need to switch the camera around. It's on the wrong.
No, it wasn't. It was perfect. Now I can see your bed.
All right.
Now I can see you. Yeah. So real life. We got to real life, and then we got to look into your bed. Lucky there was no kinky shit on that bed. That would have been really fun.
So I really resonated with what Mark said there, because I reject this idea of authors being like these la-di-da, walking around the heads in the clouds, Wordsworth and Coleridge type, writing like daffodils. I very much get my ideas from real life too.
Yeah.
So like two of the poems I'm performing tonight are based on my work in private healthcare, and a lot of the writing I've done recently has been based on that work. So if there's something in real life that I think has a story to be told, I would like to tell it.
Yeah, and I love the way you tell a story, and I know that people here haven't heard you. Some have, some haven't, and they're about to be in for a treat. They're about to be treated by James Linton. So please, everyone, show your love. Give it up for Mr. James Linton.
Okay. So this first poem is dedicated to our amazing NHS. It's called Soldiers in White Coats and Blue Scrubs. The men in suits always come to visit us when he needs to be popular. Wrinkled old man, me with a tube up my nose. He promised to stand down the floors to carry the nurses' bags. We're not the ones to keep away the grime, keep away the hunger. The men in suits don't have the time, so instead we rely on our soldiers in white coats and blue scrubs. The men with black shoes always visit us when he needs to be popular. They always visit me, my bones are heaviest. My bags are heaviest, my bones are achiest. After I finish washing my hands. We wouldn't want to get other people's muck on their spick and span shoes now, would we? The man in the blue tie ignores me as he walks across the polished floors, takes notice of the naked yellow sunshine, the cracks in the walls, the wrinkles of our exhausted soldiers, of our buildings stacked on top of each other, like a game of Tetris gone wrong. If you don't get enough ticks, it might be game over for all of us. Man in studded cufflinks points to the running junior doctor with a crooked tie and wavy hair. He's pointed to me as hold pink Lanzabazole to quell Mr. Watson's raging stomach. He's not a man, I tell him. He can't take much pain, I tell him. We're understaffed, I tell him. I'm always running, I tell him. From patient to patient, from nurse to nurse. To the senior doctor to decode my college hieroglyphics. Men in suits line us up for our final register. They straighten their ties, they increase their trousers, they clear their throats, they inspect every single one of our loyal troops. The junior doctor is still patting furiously. The nurse displaying her polished silver watch as if for a war medal. The cleaner with his trusty mop and bucket always standing by. The hospital consultant whose forehead displays his battle scars. The electrician trying to protect the light bulb's modesty. And me, the civilian, with a tube up my nose. The men in suits take out their checkboards and pens. One cross is all we need to be dissolved. Our victories will lie forgotten, buried underneath the dirt, never to shine again. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think of James's piece, Matt? Because you've heard James before, right?
I've heard James a few times actually.
Yeah, I thought you had.
Yeah, he's great. I think like just the way he sort of explains what he says, what he sees, and I think it's just really beautiful. So yeah, amazing stuff, dude.
Stunning dedication to the age. I like the line about the foreheads as well. There was just so much in there, and the hieroglyphics, you know. Yeah, I'm covered in them in tattoos, but that's because I like pain. James, have you shook off that arm? Is it ready for a round 2?
Well, in theory, I've got it propped up on the bed now, so I think it's a little wonky, but Dutch angle.
Yeah,
I'm like Tarantino.
And you're up for people asking you questions if they want to, right?
Yeah. Still, I'm an open book. AMA.
Ask James questions if you want to.
Okay.
All right, James, give us another rhyme.
Yep. So this next poem is dedicated to all the poor lost souls out there suffering from dementia. It's called Where I'm Still Me. I want to go home where I'm free, but I'm still me. Where I look in my mind and find more than empty space, the face of someone I love whose name I can't remember. But I remember how they sound, but I'm lost, never found. Can you tell me who I am, where I go? Oh, please tell me, Si. I don't know. But I know I want to go home where I'm free, but I'm still me. Well, my brain's not mush. Hush, the nurses go. The meds are good for me, they say, but they wouldn't stay away. Stay after day. I take tablet after pill. No, they'll kill me, them, the men downstairs, and they're coming for me. And I can't walk and barely talk, let alone scream. It's just a bad dream. I'm going to wake up soon. Why am I not waking up? Because I just want to go home. I'm free, but I'm still me. Well, they haven't taken my money. I know it's not funny. Why are you laughing at me? Stop laughing. Because I'm crying, I'm dying, I'm willing for the pain to stop, to have my mind back, to feel like me again. And tell me, where's my baby? She was calling, bawling for her mum. I'm coming, darling, but where are you? Where am I? What's this black that's pulling me back to my foggy mind? Everything I've left behind. Because I just want to go home. I'm free, but I'm still me. Where's my Claire with her smile? She makes it all worthwhile. And I love her, how she never lies, makes me hate or wait to say I love you. Oh, I love how she gossips. Husky voice. Laugh like summer rain. Because right now it's just a freight train pounding on my head and I wish I was dead because I need to remember. I can't. What's wrong with me? I want to go home. I'm free, but I'm still me. Don't have to watch Jeremy Kyle force to shout bingo, God no. Don't have to sing with Vera Lynn, where I don't struggle to live, where I don't smell, and I'm not in a living hell. But I just want to go home. I'm free. I'm still me. Where's my baby girl, my daughter? Because right now I'm underwater, drowning in the depths of my soul. In horror, I lose who I am. And I'm an empty shell. Well, who am I going to tell? Oh, listen to me. I'm a crazy old man. invisible. I'm a ghost, changes earth, forced to live a lie. And please, God, let me die. Because I just want to go home where I'm free, where I'm still me. Where I'm not deaf, where every breath stolen from my body doesn't leave me in agony. Where I'm not shutting down, my face isn't stitched in a frown. Where I'm not lying in my own piss and shit. Don't worry. I'm not sorry if that offends you. Not one bit. Because I just want to go home where I'm free, where I'm still me. Where I can wipe my own fucking ass. And sure, Galax class, give me a pass. I should be able to say what I want, when I want, to whom I want. I can't because I don't know what I want, who I am, where to go. Oh, please tell me, Si. I don't know. But I know I want to go home where I'm free, where I'm still me, because I am still me. I am still me. I am still me. Am I still me? Thank you very much.
That's so powerful.
That is very deep. And knowing people who've been through dementia, that's something that really resonates with me as well.
Too.
So.
And I've spent a lot of time in hospitals due to my own misadventures. And on one of those visits, I was next to a dementia patient, and it was just, it really made me see that, you know, it's just to lose your mind. To lose your mind and not know who you are, and then suddenly, like you describe it in your poem, am I me? Who am I? I'm still me.
Definitely, definitely. You lose all sense of yourself.
Yeah, it's very, it's
terrifying.
very, it's terrifying. Exactly, it's terrifying. No, it's very. That's. I remember when I first heard you perform that, it put me right back in the hospital, and I was there, and it was. It's very powerful, James. Very powerful. Yeah, it leaves me with a bit of not knowing what to say, and I'm normally full of words. It's very powerful piece. So,
one more.
One more? Yeah. Tell us things, James. Tell us things.
Okay. And this final poem is dedicated to all the amazing carers and healthcare assistants who help to look after those poor and lost souls. It's called I Am a Carer. I am a carer. I care because I do, it's true. Even when you forget that you can't walk, you can't talk, your body's shaking, your mind's quaking with the fear. Year after years, you plead to God to let you die. And even when you fight me, bite me, attack me, back me into a corner, call me a cunt, tell me to fuck off. Because I know it's terrifying, you're crying, dying, craving relief from the pain, but you remain. And I am a carer. And I'm Polish, Romanian, Lithuanian, Nigerian, Zimbabwean, Ghanaian, Filipino, Russian, Indian, Chinese. But it doesn't matter where I'm from, my background. Because when the horror's bound, I'm there, even when all I want is to crawl into bed. Because I know your head is swarming, the lies are spinning, the demons are winning. All I can do is hold your hand so you'll be okay. We both know you'll never be okay. And I am a carer. Even my back's breaking, head's aching, body's baking after a 12-hour shift with a short start. Pushed to my limits, work to my top until I flop into bed. Let me make a confession, this is a thankless profession. But you don't do it to be thanked, right? It'd be nice. Have a slice of gratitude. Let me doing some good. And I love it when you smile, it's all worthwhile to see you happy. Happiness and smiles, they don't pay my bills. With me scraping by minimum wage, can you gauge my desperation, my frustration? As our manager hates, the renters can't wait to complain. From when my brain is fried, from when I helped, never hesitated. Maybe I'll leave, go somewhere I'm appreciated. I'm a carer. As you play chess, as you raise and I call your bluff. And I love our sing-alongs, how it's a long way to Tipperary. And sure, I'll hug you when it's scary. Because we'll paint Jackson Pollocks and I don't care if they look like bollocks. Because with Darcy Martin, tuck you in a little wooden bed and that kick in the head. and I am a carer. Through bureaucracy, through hypocrisy, through CQC keeping tally every rule we've broken, it's unspoken that we are the soldiers sent to the front lines, the generals in the ivory towers, and when all we reap the spoils of war. And let me say something to those who know nothing. Wiping asses, it ain't the worst part of the job, not by a long shot. What the worst part is seeing you wither and decay day after day, not eating or drinking. I'm thinking, where's your relief as you struggle to breathe, and I want you to die. Not because I'm cruel or two-faced, but you'll be in a better place. And I am a carer. I care because I do, it's true, but who cares about me? Not my corporation, the pen pushing administration, pay me a minimum wage like I'm shitting their shoe. Let me tell you, you wouldn't have your bonuses, your BMWs, you wouldn't be making $2 million a year if it wasn't for me, the sweat on my brow, the strength of my back, my commitment to the cause. I ain't asking for a round of applause. Simple thank you will do. I'm treated like I don't matter, like I'm expendable. I know I'm indispensable. Because I know the best way to care for your dad, your mum, your brother, your sister, your grandpa, your friend, your husband, your wife as they fight for their life. I am a carer. I care because I do, it's true. But who cares about me? Thank you very much.
Yeah, James, you are a carer, and I am feeling the care. I am feeling the love tonight. That was, you know, like I said, I've spent a lot of time in hospitals, and I've seen the abuse. I've been abusive towards carers and staff, especially back in my chemically influenced days. And so, yeah, it's really, I actually appreciate every moment that I've spent in hospital and the care I've been shown. We're very, very privileged in this country to have people like you and other people care for us, you know. And I love the way you express that, because you shouldn't, you know, no one should be treated like shit.
I totally remember that one. So that just resonated a lot with me again at the Innerverse. So that's what I really remembered. I think out of the whole night of that last Innerverse I went to, that's the one poem that's sort of like, you know, stuck in my head. So quite thought-provoking, man. Excellent stuff, dude. So yeah, I
love a bit of provocation, James. And you always provide some provocation. You stoke the embers, you know, make us think, make us feel.
And you got some amazing comments on here. In fact, Matthew One Man said, "Love this stuff. Would like to work with some of his work." So, yeah, you've inspired the Lupin genius. So, you know, so there could be a good collaboration going on there.
I see.
Brilliant, tragic, and powerful. Focused anger, and rightly so. Powerful, brilliant. My mum's an NH nurse. That's you, isn't it? So sorry.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so there we go. Just incredible comments and just an incredible performance from yourself, man. So
great. Thank you for that.
Oh, James, it was so good to see and hear you, man. Seriously good. Yeah. Thank you so much for your performance tonight and your arm improvisation and you know, your camera technical issues. We got through it, man. You got through it.
Yeah, you got through it in the end.
Yeah. It was beautiful. And yeah, your smile has been commented on as well. You have an amazing smile.
Yeah, I know. It's
very true. It's enchanting. Yeah. So, yeah, good to see you, James, man. Everyone should give it up for James Linton.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, mate.
Cheers, dude.
Okay.
Oh, what a wonderful evening. Oh, look at this. We're getting all the angles, man.
We don't want the quads, so that's the problem this time of night.
Yeah.
It starts going wrong.
You get a bit more leg for your money at this time of night.
Do you want to see some leg?
Want to see some leg? Some leg. Yeah. Want some more? Check all that out, hey? Furry as well. Furry. Yeah.
So I did promise you pictures of Pete, didn't I? So
some pictures of me of my first attempt at paddle boarding.
Let's just pull this up here.
Let's put it. I haven't even seen these. This is going to be really interesting.
Right.
What you got, Matt? Come on.
There we go. There he's up.
I'm up on a board. Yeah.
Look, looks very stable there. Can't you see?
Yeah, look at that.
And I've actually got one of them in the water.
Have you?
Yeah. But not like fall in the water. No, you did fall in the water.
I fell in the water a lot.
Oh, there's me.
That's you.
There he is.
There I am, waterbound.
With his favourite finger up in the air.
My favourite. Do you know that tattoo on that finger means sacrifice?
Does it really?
That symbol, yeah, that rune means sacrifice.
Ah, interesting.
And it wasn't put on there on purpose. That was just the order of the tattoos, and it was just pure chance that it landed on that finger. Sacrifice. So it was really, really cool. But yeah, Matt, it's been an evening, hasn't it?
That's been fantastic, man. It's been a pleasure hosting.
Absolutely.
With you. So
yeah, absolutely. A bit of back and forth, to and fro. And the audience has been as beautiful as they ever are, staying with us, sharing, talking, commenting, feeling, thinking, absorbing.
We got still a lot of people on the stream, despite it being very late. But yeah, and you're going to give us another poem, aren't you, to finish the night up?
I will see it. Yeah, I will. And so I want to thank you all. I want to thank Matt for providing this lovely space, Fiery Things for supporting us, and anyone who's watched, tuned in, listened, and just been with us. It's a true gift to have you with us. And yeah, soul here. Try to listen clear. I don't follow no religions, and I am not contained by the conditions of other superstitions. And I don't follow no other man's plan. I follow my own footsteps. Through introspect and retrospect, they project and protect a future project for hindsight to collect. And I follow the evidence of experience. And I try and follow intuition, but I get regular intervals of brain interference. And my line would be... And I spend time on a shallow land where my shadow lends an underhand to help me overstand, showing my feet where the shade held them through the streets of deceit and defeat. And I am a bit of a god, but I am contained by a human who is exceptionally odd, who gets distracted by shiny in a world set to try me, especially when they go damn windy and my soul fuel gets all grimy and says, come on in, try me. And all this think positive I find obnoxious, for this soul needed to acknowledge the opposite. As my burdens don't lessen by letting them get dressed in dressings of prayers and blessings if I'm not addressing them to learn that lesson. And I am no deity. Just look at the weight of me. I'm Thames water bound. I laugh at predictions of where people think we go in the next round. I've got news for all those people. Look around. That's right. This is it. This is all we got. So please treasure, adore it, appreciate, love, and have all of it, because life is too quick and these vessels are limited. And I carry unlimited potential in a limited vessel, and I only exist in a moment's schedule. So schedule them regularly, because you never will know when I'm bound to leave. So please treasure and adore and appreciate me, because this soul that I speak of is in that life force of air that we temporarily breathe. And it jumps in and out and around about you, me, Matt, this studio, and every beautiful person that listened and has tuned in and performed for us tonight. That's all we've got is this breath, this moment. So enjoy it, appreciate, love, and adore it, because all we've got is now each other. Don't waste your time. Go and talk to someone you ain't spoken to. Go and hug someone you've never hugged 2 meter distance. Go and just break. I hope you come and leave this night without the mindset you came in with. I hope it's changed. I hope your view has been changed. And I just want to thank you all for being here, and Matt for putting this on. So yeah, thank you, Matt. You are the man.
Thank you, Pete. That was amazing, dude. I hope you liked my interlacing of your.
I did.
Your
it
day,
was really good. It was really sweet. It was like, I was getting nostalgic.
Hopefully not getting the fear from all that falling in the river.
No, I love fear, man. Fear is the gift. Honestly, don't fear fear. All fear is fear itself. Don't fear fear. Embrace fear.
But it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks to all our performers. Thanks to you for being amazing. Thanks to, well, do you want to read the list out? Just to do the hand claps. I'll do the clapping. And
you do the clapping. Yeah. Okay. Ready for the clapping, the clap attack. Here we go. Tonight, we have for you Mr. Diamond Bavell. Yay. We had Matt Fleming, Mr. One Formation.
Weird to clap for myself. But
clap for yourself. Yeah. You're worth it.
Yeah.
And we had also up for you the poetess that is GABRIELLE WESTHEAD. Woo! We had for you Mr. Nick Milan rocking us like a true rock man. We have me, myself, and I provided you with some lyrical insight. Yay! We have Mr. Rick Warren. That man is just too much. Honest.
Great, yeah.
Oh, God. I need to see a therapist after hearing him. He's so good. And we have Karen McCabe coming all the way with her and her sister. Getting finger blisters from that guitar. So that was quite cool.
Dedication.
Dedication
So, yeah.
to the fingers and the cause. And we have for you, Mr. James Linton. Give it up for James, a man on a mission. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. And tomorrow night, please tune in for Matthew One Man and his Super Stream session. And stay tuned for Vinus Tone and all the wonderful events that he puts on. That is Mr. Matt Fleming. We will provide you with more as long as you are there. And even if you're not, we're still going to do it to open up that space for people to come and find it. So yeah, thank you all.
Good night.
Oh, there's me swearing.